what funky technological stuff are you guys doing?
Uh,
Anyways, hello, to whoever is here and whoever means no one, I think, at this point in time. But whoever does eventually stumble onto the stream
hmm.
at some point in time, to them, hello. This is our. I guess we're late to the Joker review
Oh,
party because
oh,
I think it's
we
been
are not
review.
late. We are not late. We
I
have
feel
been
it's been
living it.
review.
We have
I
been
feel it's
living
been.
it.
I feel it's been reviewed by like everyone and like it's everywhere. Like that's the whole like feeling I get because it's like it's the whole thing where a film releases and then you get the response to it and it's like like littered throughout the social media space at this point in time. But no, we have two people as of what it's I'm seeing here. You can reveal yourself if you wish to. Chris is here. Thank you, Chris, for being here always. I see you took my recommendation and watched Banshees of Inisherin. I wish you. I hope your day went by fine after that because I was
That that
devastated.
that is a traumatizing movie. That
I
is a
told
different trauma. That is
I
a
told
different.
him I was like beware, just beware. Go near that movie very cautiously.
Hmm.
But anyways, I think he liked it, so I'm happy on that count. But I hope you are safe, sound, and fine because that movie is emotional trauma. Well, yeah, but I want you, so
For all of us, don't worry. लेकिन हमारा मानसिक संतुलन बिगड़ा हुआ है कुछ अलग ही मूवी के लिए. But you get
Yes,
the
we
idea.
are. Yeah, from Banshees of there is one connection also. One actor transports from there to here, and he has
Yes, yes.
one moment which almost reminded me of Banshees for some reason. Like it's like a because he's saying something priest related to
He's
Joker at
also
one
the
point in
best
time.
part of this movie. Weirdly
Yeah,
enough.
I mean, so the weird thing about Joker, Folly Ado, what is it? What's the English
Shared
translation?
shared
Shared
delusion.
delusion. Shared delusion.
मेरा रिव्यू का
Uh,
तो स्टार्ट वही हुआ है. The only shared delusion is with the audience who thought that this movie would be coherent. Sucks to be you.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel you need to watch Joker too. Like I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, 100%.
So like it's one of
100%.
those sequels I feel where it's like
Though to be fair, you don't need to क्योंकि जोकर
it's
2 तो
probably
वैसे भी
better.
जोकर 1 को ही रिपीट करता है. जोकर 1 को एक्सप्लेन करता है जोकर 2.
Yeah,
If
but Chris,
जोकर
I think
1 is your Shakespeare, if जोकर 1 is Shakespeare, जोकर 2 is an annotated translated version जिसको साइड पे नोट्स लिखा हुआ है. That's what it is.
basically, yeah, that's a good description of Joker 2 in some ways. Yeah, you watched Joker, and I think Chris, you expressed that you didn't like it, right? As much as you did the first time. I had the opposite reaction. Like I didn't. It's not like I had a great fondness for the film on the rewatch. It's just that
I don't think
individual
anybody does.
bits individual bits worked for me though, like much more than I thought initially. So we can talk about the first one a little bit because and then we'll of course dive into
Yeah,
Joker,
because it
Folie,
was
Ado.
5 years ago. This is थोड़ा याद
Yeah,
करना पड़ रहा है.
2019, what a glorious years for movies, and I don't mean that sarcastically at all. Like a
It was a
genuinely
fantastic year.
great year for movies. Where Todd Phillips's
I had a blog.
mentor also made a film like mentor. His homage,
Todd
inspiration.
Phillips's mentor saw that movie and he was like, भोसरी के पूछना चाहिए था ना.
Yeah, I brought into the hype the first time. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'll be interested. I'm interested to know what you didn't like that much. Because I think Joker Folie Do definitely just is a clarification of part
It
one.
is something. It is something.
Okay, okay. So
That's the only.
we'll get to that fairly soon only, I think. But we will begin with our thoughts on because I had written down what's your thoughts on the first film. How have they evolved? Because it was such a phenomena at that time. There were. I still think I can't understand when people make the argument that it's a better film than Parasite because on just a fundamentally dramatic level, it is nowhere near close to Bong Joon-ho's masterpiece, I think. But anyways, the messaging that year was the whole eat the rich thing, right? Like I think it started very much, and that this
Yes.
played into that, of course.
Also,
Also,
also
it's
Joker won Golden Lion. To which I would say to all the Venice people, what were you guys smoking? I'm
Oh,
serious. What
it
do you
won.
guys
Oh, yeah,
think?
it won the Golden Lion. That's why it was such a big deal at that time, also.
Yeah. I'm like,
Uh,
what were you guys smoking? मतलब तुम लोगों को कॉमिक बुक मूवीज पसंद नहीं है, इसलिए जो भी एक सबवर्शन कर दो कॉमिक बुक मूवी का, तुम लोगों को पसंद आ जाएगा क्या?
which take gives you an aneurysm? I
That it is
don't
better
know.
than Parasite.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, that, as it should. But no, what do you think, Amartya, of the first film? The first film, for whoever is unaware, which doesn't
I
seem
don't
like
think
it's
anybody
anyone.
is. I don't think
Yeah, but
anybody. I don't think even
just
Phillips. I don't think even Phillips believes that anybody hasn't seen Joker. I think
yeah,
Phillips
that's
also
true.
knows.
Anyways, just mild context is that it's well, mild
Yeah.
context is it's a remake of The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver draped in the
It's a bad, vapid remake of Scorsese's Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. And mind you, I'm not a big fan of Taxi Driver in the first place.
yeah.
So
So that's
yes,
saying something.
yeah,
I still think I've come to realize that I love King of Comedy more than Taxi Driver, but we'll get to that because I think
that's a
King of Comedy is the
great movie.
central text.
That's a
Uh,
great movie.
Yeah, and it to show how much of an homage it is to those two films, it also features Robert De Niro in a key role. Um,
Yes.
so I thought it was poignantly cruel the first time. Now for me, the personal political don't coalesce, so it just dragged. Had to take a lot of breaks to get through it.
No, I think in the
But
first movie, I think this is why मतलब आदमी लोग इवॉल्व होते हैं ना.
of course,
2019 2019 I had a blog. I just started writing. So when I started doing that, Joker was one of the first full length feature reviews I had written, more or
sure,
less, in my blog.
yeah.
And I was reading the 2019 ka review of Joker. Every time I'm reviewing it, I'm like cursing myself. What the fuck did you write, you a hole? But
Well, that's one lesson. I mean, I also visit. This is so weird. I visited my own review. That's the first. I had deleted my Letterboxd account, and it was
yeah,
the first time I reactivated it. It was the first review I had written.
hmm,
That was on Joker also. And I was
yeah.
reading it. I was like, well, I didn't hate it, but I was like, whatever. Like, there's a lot of things I would change now, in whatever I had written. But
I
anyways,
was
yeah,
very forgiving of the movie that first time around, but even
sure.
then, I'm like, I am proud of myself क्योंकि 3.5 से ज़्यादा नहीं गया था, even during that time. So
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I liked it, but I think I praised Phoenix's performance a lot. I think that
Hmm.
performance is like overwhelming to the extreme because that performance takes over the entire movie, even during the silent sequences and all that
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
Rewatching this time around, I was like, everything is blunt, everything is
From the get go,
explained.
right?
Yeah, everything is explained. I'm like, he has a laugh. Okay. So that is
Yeah.
going to cause a problem because society doesn't like disabled or differently able people.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it. नहीं बच्चा भी ढुकाना पड़े, बच्चा भी घुसाना पड़ेगा दिखाने के लिए कि his laugh is creepy.
I like
Great,
that
good
scene.
job.
Which
Scene is
scene are you talking
nice.
about?
The first scene in
The bus scene, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a good scene, but
I
I
find
understand.
his I find his creepy, which he doesn't do that much in this. But I find
Hmm,
that laughter quite
creepy.
like
Something is
the
it
mix
is.
of
I think it is
creepy
tragic
and
also.
painful is yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mix of
It,
creepy and painful is very good in that particular laugh, I think.
that again, I have to say that performance is something else. I genuinely feel
Hmm.
believe that because like Phoenix's performance is pushing the character to another level because you can see the physical strain it takes
I
whenever
was
he's laughing.
sympathetic towards Arthur quite
Yes,
a bit in this. So, and I
yes.
think the film does require you to be fairly sympathetic. It really pummels him into the ground
He
from
pummels him
every.
into but movie में कोई subtlety नहीं है.
नहीं वो
एक
तो
तो
have you seen the title card of the movie? It literally covers the whole fucking screen. So I was just like, it's
वो तो
like
इसमें भी
that is
है.
the level. हाँ
वो तो
मतलब वो
इसमें भी
level
है.
है, loudness का level वो ही है in terms of
हाँ, हाँ.
सब surface पे ले आएंगे.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes,
it's
it's
a
a condition.
condition.
Like Arvind Senbi condition. Yeah, yeah. I was in 2019. Now I'm not. But again, the point being, the thing about this is how, again, it's that same thing. It's like, if you are going to do, okay, look, you can do a Scorsese ripoff. Nobody's arguing. Nobody doesn't want you to do a Scorsese ripoff. Like Taxi Driver ka, I think there are 20th iterations of Taxi Driver at this point. Everybody and their mother.
every year there's an old man who does it, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Everybody and their mothers are doing a Scorsese ripoff of some
That's
sort.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not even a ripoff. It's like an inspiration. But
No, it's a
this is
setting also.
ripoff.
No, it's
This is
set.
ripoff.
It's 70s. It's got scenes which literally mimic Taxi Driver. Like there's the
It's not
scene
even
with the
scenes. It's the construction itself. It's the camera color
yeah.
palette. It's the color palette. The color palette
Can I
itself is
be
that.
can I be honest? I would
Yeah.
much rather he just aped off Scorsese in what he did in Taxi Driver, because there is a remarkable lack of momentum or control or anything in Folie. Whoever he's taken inspiration from, I was reading a little bit, but none of his inspirations seem like he took them properly.
Folie is a different animal. मैं आता हूँ
No, but
Folie.
I'm saying about Joker in the sense that there are sequences in Joker which, like, to me reminded me of 70s cinema in a good way also. Like they were tense, they
some
were effective. Like there was a tension within them. They allowed
but-
the characters to really
No, but
build
again,
to
you are
the
explaining everything. Like
yeah.
his almost damaged mental break, his psychic break. You don't have to explain it by him showing a gun at his temple, and then you are showing the scene in which Zazie Beetz' character was actually an illusion.
The
Bro,
Zazie
we
Beetz
don't
stuff
need
is
that.
quite embarrassingly bad, I think.
Yeah.
Like the whole reveal and everything is also just stupidly done.
Yeah, but I'm like, bro, we don't need that. We understood. Thank you. We
No,
get
but
it.
can I ask you something about this? Because this will be something which will, I guess, repeat itself a little bit in Folie Do. How much do you think is the broad gesturing also a matter of placing it within a comic book? Under that context, how like
If you
how
are
much
asking-
does
if
the
you're
broad
asking-
gesturing work within that?
I would say that is insulting them, because
Okay.
here's the thing. If you are putting something very broad gestury under the guise of I am dedicating this to the comic book audience, you
Sure.
are kind of insulting them. You're kind
Okay.
of insulting them because you are taking into account that comic book reading audiences are a couple of dumb fucks. That's what
I
you are
don't
basically taking into account.
I don't think he thinks much of them.
He
I
doesn't.
have a feeling,
He
right?
does.
Yeah.
He doesn't. That is why he knows that the comic book medium itself is the most popular medium ever. So even if he has to make a movie about a guy damaged by society and fighting back by going on a murderous spree, he knows that he won't be able to make a movie that is also financially viable. So I am going
Yeah.
to slap the DC Comics' logo. I am going to put all of the connections to DC Comics. I'm
Which
going to put
I
all of the
think
connections
are
back.
painfully, like, slapped onto
Yeah,
the
yeah.
narrative at times. So I messaged you saying that it's like, I was much cruder in the message, but I was basically like, it's like dangling like a, toy to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
dog, essentially. It's like
100%.
for, yeah.
It's like you're putting this into
Omkar,
account.
good. I will need you later on, definitely. As will I need Sai Shankar, because we talked on message on Instagram and he really likes the film. So I'm very curious to know what you guys liked about
We
it.
need positive feedback, because I'm not going to be very sympathetic to the movie.
Yes. So no,
Yes.
exactly. But
And
no, go ahead.
anybody in
Sorry, you
the
were saying.
chat, and to anybody in the chat who is going to be offended every time, who is going to be offended very soon when I'm going to destroy this movie, I apologize. अभी कह देता
No,
हूँ. I
but
apologize. But
I
जो भी है.
feel I don't know. I have a feeling the Folie is a type of movie which I would think people who liked it would also know why people don't like it, and why people don't, and people who don't like it would also somewhat understand why some people like it, I guess. Anyways, we'll get to it.
I think the Joker problem. I think the problem with Todd Phillips' Joker, again, it's not very deep. Very simple. It is not very
Yeah.
deep. It is putting out a message which I understand was important. It
But what is
also
the message?
kind of
Can I clarify that?
no. The message is basically that society isn't kind to people they deem as outcasts. So society
Okay.
is always going. Society reacts to people they
Mm-hmm.
deem as outcasts, and to the people who are deemed outcasts, if you push somebody to their breaking point, they are going to react. That is a
So you
message. He's
think?
essentially putting he's
Mhm.
essentially putting out the message of polarization, which by the way becomes very prescient if you think about it. Because
Hmm.
couple of years after that, the pandemic starts, people go on to social media, the polarization widens, both from
Yep.
a political standpoint as well as from a personal,
Yep.
professional, however it is, from any standpoint.
Yep. Yep.
Polarization becomes such an important thing.
Hmm.
So it's like, how do you he got the vibe entirely. Also, I believe that even before that, we have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that we were in within the Trump era,
Mm-hmm.
because because America is so centric overall, क्योंकि
Mm-hmm.
अमेरिकन्स को कभी कभी याद दिलवाना पड़ता है कि बाकी देश भी है इस दुनिया में, ठीक है, अमेरिकन्स को कभी कभी याद दिलाना पड़ता है. So
Which
if
is
we look
okay. I
into
mean, what
account,
what can you say? Yeah.
yeah, if you take into account that Americans are like, you have to we are in the Trump era,
Mm-hmm.
2019, smack dab in the middle of Trump era. It was
Yeah.
heavily, or even if you are not in the Trump era, you're getting into
Hmm.
the Trump era, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. It is
Sure.
heavily polarized by that point.
Yeah.
Last Jedi had come out. People were angry at anything resembling subversion. So it's like fans were angry
Yeah.
at anything resembling subversion. So
Yeah.
anything that is
Mm-hmm.
even remotely different, or anything that is going to strike a chord with a specific set of people, they are going to own a movie and they're going to make it their own. What I think Phillips's anger
Well,
especially
are you
was,
talking about movies becoming people's identity essentially?
yes, I think
Sure. Hmm.
Phillips's anger especially was the fact that there were a group of people who
Hmm.
took the Joker movie not as the cautionary tale, but as a tale of relatability.
Sure.
Now I'm going to be a very asshole person here, but
Hmm.
maybe Todd Phillips, your direction wasn't that good, because maybe they took it not as a cautionary tale but as a tale of relatability, because maybe you directed it that way.
I was about to say that the first film, because I rewatched it also just before Folie 2.
Me
It's
too, yeah.
yeah. You also watched it, rewatched it just before, right? And I'm gonna flag up the comments which sort of get to this also, but it's very muddled in a way. It's very, in the sense that it kind of appeals to all sorts of arguments, because I think this whole thing, the it's structured as an origin story, right? Like it pummels that guy into the ground, and whatever he does after that seems justified. Todd Phillips, I think, in one scene or two, tries to yeah, go ahead. In one scene or two, Todd Phillips tries to pull away from, just committing wholeheartedly and fully to this notion. I think what Amartya was talking about, and in doing, like he has a couple of lines and a couple of dialogues where he says that, I don't believe in anything. Like the Joker character of Joaquin Phoenix's character says that, and I think the whole intention there is that I want to paint a picture of this guy of two people essentially. There's Arthur Fleck and then there's Joker, right? So in Arthur Fleck, you get a person who is the victim in many senses of his circumstances and the things around him, but Joker, like the means of his revenge, aren't justified. So it's basically like, he's sympathetic first and then pathetic. To, like, I think that's what the film wants to do. I don't think the film is able to do it. Like
He's
Joker is
sympathetic,
the.
but I think the sympathetic aspect of it all, I can still buy. I
I
can
think
still
Arthur
buy.
Fleck is sympathetic. Joker is pathetic. I think that's the
Joker is
divide.
Joker is quote unquote pathetic, right? But
Yeah.
the fact is, if you remember how the movie ends with a riot and
Yeah.
everything, and then Joker with his clown mask and everything puts up a smile like this,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then
Yes.
the movie ends.
He goes into the mental
I remember
institution.
I remember walking out of the theater, and a
Huh.
lot of people were not even
They
that
were cheering.
they were praising Phoenix's performance. They were like, and in Bengali I'm saying, "Bhai, কিভাবে শেষ হলো রে? Man, look at how that ended, man. Damn."
Okay.
I'm like,
No. No, no, but but I see the
okay.
thing is, I'm generally, I think it's clunkily done in the first Joker, like to balance those things. I think for example, King of Comedy. I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it up a number of times in this discussion.
The thing
So,
about Scorsese, here's something. Thing about Scorsese, and believe me, I am no expert on Scorsese. I don't think even Dhruv is going to say that he's a expert on Scorsese. None of
nope,
us are.
not at all. Yeah.
But इतना तो हम लोग को पता है, ठीक है, कि when Scorsese is messaging you, he's not going to be so blunt about it.
Yeah.
He's not going
And
to be
he
blunt
traffics
about
in
it throughout
irony
the movie.
also.
Yeah, he's going to be either very ironic about it, and in the methodology of displaying that irony, all of the violence, all of the brutality comes as a result of that irony. And irony irony doesn't stem from being telegraphed. Irony stems from being subtle about it. Irony stems from you realizing that what you're watching is actually stupid. Each of the events in Wolf of Wall Street, whatever you see, Leo and all his friends' character, they are
Excess,
fun.
right? Everything.
They are fun.
the
It's
whole
excess. Pीछे jazz बज रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है and everything. But below all that sentiment, Scorsese is telling you, right, that
there's the cuts, right? Like that's the Margot Robbie I remember. There's the whole Quaalude sequence, of course. Then there's the whole, going through. Like there's important moments when the film provides the counterpoint. The counterpoint to the appeal of all this on screen, which I would say, like, there's an example in the first Joker, for example. I think
I like the fact that he provides counterpoints almost immediately, right? But I'm just saying कि Scorsese का ना undercurrent ही वैसा है.
Yes.
Even in Goodfellas, there is always the undercurrent that every time you're watching this, none of these people are nice. None of these people are people to be followed or people to be revered. None of them. I can argue that Casino is too fast edited. Casino is too fast edited to get any counter current. But other than that, you get the idea कि अंदर से हमेशा that undercurrent is there. You are not going to find anybody who are people to be revered or people to be followed.
So I think what Sai is saying here, I think a lot of people did feel that. I have to say, on the second watch,
I think Sai's reaction is like he's taking it neutrally that people took Joker's sides. The problem is that there were fans who actually took Joker's side.
Yeah.
I'm also going to say this.
And I don't blame them, to be very honest.
No, I of course don't blame them either.
Yeah.
I don't blame them either. But I'm also going to say this. I am also going to say that they are also a very vocal minority. Let's be very clear about this. There are many people who took that movie for what it is and who rejected that movie or accepted that movie for what it is.
Yeah.
People did not like the movie. The movie did not make $1 billion. And again, I'm telling this to Todd Phillips. Movie did not make $1 billion, Todd, because of a vocal minority of people rewatching your movie, Movie made $1 billion.
4 times, 5 times, 20 times.
Doesn't work that way. Movie made $1 billion because people connected with the movie. People thought that your movie actually had something to say. It's irrelevant whether whatever you are saying has been repeated before or after. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You presented it in such a fashion. You presented a familiar dish. You presented a Chicago deep dish pizza, basically. You presented that.
Okay.
That's what it is. And that's fine.
What is King of Comedy then? If this is
New
Chicago,
York pizza.
Achha, okay. I mean, that's being a little disrespectful to the cinematographer, production designer, who actually, I think, are the second highlights of the film after.
To clarify. I don't think Chicago deep dish pizza actually tastes bad.
I've not had it that much, to be honest, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just...
No, but I don't think definitely don't think I like my New York pizza better than. Okay.
Yes, Aryan would know.
Aryan. You were supposed to come for this, but you skipped this because you already spent money watching Megalopolis, right? So
yeah,
only one disaster to be taken. To me, Arthur's arc in Folie reminds me of Jake LaMotta. Interesting. I firstly need to rewatch Raging Bull. King of Comedy. No, I don't think he's the King of Comedy character here. It's more Lady Gaga's character and other people are the Rupert Pupkins as opposed to him. It's more about the craziness of other people around Arthur as opposed to his own craziness. But anyways, Megalopolis was New York's subway equivalent. Okay. A discussion on Megalopolis shall follow sometime when it is
It shall
available to
follow
all of
जब हमें
us.
देखने को मिलेगा सर. आप तो
आ
अमेरिका
जाएगा.
चले गए. आप तो
नहीं नहीं आ
अमेरिका चले
जाएगा.
गए, हम लोग को छोड़ के यहाँ पे
Sir,
क्या कर सकते हैं?
in 3 weeks it'll be there. Okay,
हाँ
don't
हाँ
worry.
100%. कोई पैसा
So,
नहीं कमाएगा वो movie. I'm sorry.
no, it didn't. It's bombed, of course.
Of
Anyways,
course it's wrong.
so but
No,
no, but I think the final. So
we are
one of the
not
things
going
I'll
to
say,
we are not going to get into an argument on Joker Part 1 because frankly it's 5 years too
we're
late.
not even
That's
going to
number
get
one.
argument on this. We are fairly on a
Yeah.
similar page. So
Yeah. Frankly,
yeah,
frankly, it's 5 years too late. Second of all, I would like to clarify two things. Clarify a thing about Joker. Ki
sure.
all the people were criticizing Joker Folie due that where the fuck did the musical element come from? I am going to say that in this instance, Phillips is very consistent because
Hmm.
every time Arthur has a psychic break, you
Hmm.
see in Joker Part 1 that he
Dancing and
goes
all
on a
that, right?
dance. Every time he goes into his persona, he dances, he has a jig, he becomes more flamboyant. So the fact of the matter is, and Sinatra's That's Life plays all the time in the background every time.
Yeah.
Even with Hildur
Even in Folie
Gudinotti's
Do,
score.
which played twice, right?
Yeah.
Does it
So
bookend the film almost
okay,
again?
bookends
So
the film. Yeah. So
yeah,
Sinatra's That's Life always plays in the background anyway. So it's like in that regard, this movie is always consistent. Musical, the fact that his world becomes music filled to ensure that his sanity remains at the very
yeah,
least intact, that's not a new thing. That was present in Joker as well. So Joker
sure,
Folie Du is not betraying that at all. What
sure.
it does betray is everything else because जो भी character arc हुआ था Joker का, मतलब Arthur का, I
Origin
think he
story
walks it back.
becomes a
I think he walks it
de-origin.
back. Yeah, I think he walks it back. थोड़ा.
I think
But
he
again,
clarifies it more than walking it back. It's like you know the hundreds of things I was doing in that first movie with all the mixed messages.
here's
This
part
is what
one.
this is.
Here's
This is
two.
this
Here's
is
three.
exactly what I'm trying to do. Just see
Yeah.
the second part. What I'm doing is this, and I'm like, I'm very conflicted about this because on the one hand, it's made $1 billion. I
The
wouldn't
first
want
one?
it to. Yeah, the first one, and I
Yeah,
didn't.
of course, the first one.
Yeah, this
I'm
one is
sorry.
not going to make
Yeah,
money, so
I
everyone's
sound so,
hated
I
it. So
sound so, I sound so. मतलब क्या ही बोले? But it's like yeah.
this one's not going to make. I mean, it's already not made money, right? So no, but the first one, yeah, like I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm like, do we need a clarification as a movie now?
No,
Like I
no,
don't think we need
100%
it.
we do.
But I like the core basic ideas that he's playing with here because so let me just preface this by saying we did, well, not we, Amartya did a review of Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was there moderating, right? This I would assume is the anti Deadpool and Wolverine in many senses. It's like trying to get away from this mythic image of nostalgic superhero ness, I suppose, and which is the one reason where I was like, I saw the bad reception. I was like, I'm very curious about this movie, like just in terms of I didn't expect this to conform to those nostalgic levels, like the nostalgia porn, which is almost like I want to like puke when I like I will probably watch Deadpool and Wolverine
It's out
appropriately in
on
Halloween.
digital.
No,
It's
in
out.
Halloween month only I will watch it. वो मेरा horror है personal.
That is horror movie. Yeah, that is a horror movie.
Deadpool is horror for me. No, it's like wanting to bang my head against the wall wala horror. But anyways, I think that enough of the slander to that stuff. But no, my idea was I was intrigued about this because it was sort of positioning itself as a anti, almost anti fandom, anti whatever sequel almost. It's almost like a let's just rip apart what we did. Like, it's almost like,
It's
or
not
like
even,
whatever
it's not
that
even,
means.
it's not even let's just rip apart. It's just you pathetic people. How could you like that first movie? How did you not understand what that first movie was about?
There
Oh
is
God.
definitely that sense of,
Yeah. Yeah.
vitriol in this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is that
How do
vitriol,
you?
and that vitriol is very apparent, by the way. That mean spirit is very apparent. And primarily speaking, I am not exactly a dissonant of mean spirit. Believe me, I like my mean
Oh, I
spirit
like
just
mean
fine.
spirited stuff
Uh,
quite a bit. That live stream
uh,
was Dhruv and Amartya. Sorry, I'm very confused,
Deadpool and
Chris.
Wolverine. Deadpool and
Ah,
Wolverine.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
By the
yeah.
way, I forgot that I spoke in that live stream for over 2 hours. Yeah.
It's fine. If I joined you, I would have absolutely eviscerated that piece of shit. But anyways, I'm not gonna go. Which is why I didn't watch it that time. Okay.
You know the
Uh,
validation every time I think about that live stream is now Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out on digital, and everybody who is watching it on digital is now, oh my god, this movie is so bad. I'm like,
Exhausting. Okay.
like thank
Anyways,
you.
for back to Folie, do I guess. But for people who haven't watched it, aren't familiar, also or don't care, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna,
For people who did not watch it, I would suggest please save your hard-earned money for better
yeah.
movies
You
that are
could
coming out
wait.
next week.
If
Yeah,
anything, watch it online, and by online I mean online, like not.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
don't
If
don't
anything,
don't even pay for it on like a
yeah, yeah,
rental. I don't think
yeah, yeah.
it would
Yeah, yeah.
require it.
If anything, just wait for it to come out on digital, and then
Then I think it's
extra.
fine. I think it's might be a fun watch for people in terms of experimentation. I just think okay, we'll get to the film before
Yeah, yeah. We'll
before we
get to
get
that.
to the film.
Yeah.
To get away, so directed by Todd Phillips, written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver, same duo who wrote the first. It's
I
based on the characters by
the idea of this movie had come while they were editing Joker One. Phoenix
sure.
and Phillips both had this idea. Okay,
Okay.
we are going to make a musical. If we ever do a sequel, we are going to make a musical. I'm like, what were you smoking? But okay, so you get the
Probably
idea.
something.
Probably
Uh,
something. Yes.
Anyways, it's based on the characters written by Bob. This you can verify how much it's based on, by Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and Jerry Robinson. It's shot by Lawrence Sher.
It's
Great. I've not
surprisingly
seen
good.
him doing. I've not seen him do much stuff other than this or what. Like his cinematography is really great in both these films.
His
So
cinematography is
Lawrence Sher,
amazing, especially in that
yeah,
final sequence. In that final
yeah,
sequence when he's doing that single take, like
yeah.
so good. Which is why it is even more baffling to me when I saw that sequence. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you working so hard for
But I
this?
feel, well, I feel,
That
well,
was my
but he's
reaction.
getting
Why?
paid for it. But like, but it's a consistently good looking movie. Like I didn't think it was
Oh yeah.
even the because I was trying to I was trying to think why the film wasn't working for me in a lot of places, and the cinematography is definitely not one of the
No, the
reasons, right?
cinematography is not the issue at all.
Yeah,
At all.
music by Hildur Gunnadottir, I
Yes.
think.
Though to be fair to
Uh,
Miss Hildur Gunnadottir, I'm sorry
they
that your
don't
music got drowned out by all the cover songs, but I
There's
get it.
barely like yeah, it's the same tune, like the sad, violent tune,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the
I'm sorry that your music got tuned out by the cover song jukebox musical nonsense. But Joby, yeah.
yeah.
bro,
We'll talk
bro,
about
if you're
that.
going to make a musical, why don't you just write original songs?
Yeah,
I'm not even a musical fan, but come on.
yeah. Edited, which we should get to, because
We
I
should.
have a sneaking suspicion that all my issues with this film are editing related. Is edited by Jeff Groth, who did a pretty decent job, I think, with the first film. I didn't think
The
that
first
was that.
film, I think the first film kind of sort of, first film was supposed to be, I'm clarifying everything for you. So in that regard, I think the editing works quite well because it's like he's clarifying everything for you. Even though you don't understand what he's doing, but he's clarifying everything for you in the first film.
Icelandic, right? Sorry, just Hilda Gunnadottir, I
Yes,
think.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. She
Hmm.
won the Oscar for Joker or what? Or no?
The background of this live stream replay.
It's interesting that that's a problem you have, Sai, because I think she's a very major part, right? She needs to be much more fleshed out. I feel in this film then,
She's the
but
fan. She's the fans.
she's
She's
his main
exactly the
motivation though,
fans.
right? To go and become Joker again, right?
Exactly. She is the fans, and Arthur Fleck is the studio.
Yes. Absolutely.
Arthur Fleck is the studio.
Or Arthur Fleck is Todd Phillips also. You can think of him. Arthur
No, no,
Fleck is
Todd
Todd
Phillips.
Phillips,
No,
and
no,
the Joker
Arthur
is the
Phillips.
studio.
No,
How does
Arthur
that
Fleck is
work?
not Todd Phillips. Arthur Fleck is not Todd Phillips. Todd
Okay.
Phillips is वो कुछ और ही है. Todd
Acha,
Phillips is
he's
beyond
Todd
beyond our thought.
Phillips.
Yeah, he's beyond.
Okay. He's Todd Phillips. Anyways, it stars
The wrong
Joaquin
Todd, by the
Phoenix.
way, Joaquin. Joaquin, you chose the wrong Todd, baby.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry,
It's
man.
okay. It's okay. It happens to everyone.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
want to
It's like karma
shit
also.
on Phoenix for that, but
No,
whatever.
no. I think karma also came back to bite him on his ass at this point because you chose
I
the
hope
wrong
he
call.
works. I hope he works sometimes with Haynes. Hopefully, their relationship isn't in the absolute dumps right now. But Joaquin Phoenix stars as Arthur Fleck slash Joker. Lady Gaga. How much is she called
She's
Harley
Lee
Quinn in this?
Quinzel. She's Lee
Lee
Quinzel.
Quinzel. Hmm.
Hmm. We don't even know whether her
God
name is actually
Phillips.
Harleen.
Nice.
We don't even know whether her name is Harleen. We don't. We
Oh,
technically
so
don't know
it's but
anything.
they don't have that stupid Robin moment, right?
Which one? वो
Arey,
BVS
the
में or
Dark Knight
Dark Knight Rises में?
Rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Thank
Yeah,
God.
okay. Uh, then there's Brendan Gleeson, everyone's favorite, I guess. Then Catherine Keener, Steve Coogan, a couple of people who come back from the first film. The main one being actually Lee Gill as Mr. Puddles.
Yes.
He's the
Uh,
main person who comes back, right?
yes.
Gets one of the
Yes.
better scenes in the film, I
Gets
guess.
one of the best scenes
Uh,
in the film.
yeah,
Actually, I genuinely think so.
yeah,
Though to be fair to that person, I'm sorry you had to act against Joaquin Phoenix talking like Foghorn Leghorn. But
yes.
yes,
And it stars what on earth is Harvey Dent's accent? Harry
Harry
Lottie.
Lottie,
I have
Harry
no
Lottie
idea
as
who you are,
Robert,
sir. I'm very sorry, but
Harry
I
Lottie as
don't know
Robert
what
in industry.
I
Robert
don't know
in
what you
industry.
have been
You're a fantastic
directed to do.
actor, sir. You were miscast in this. I'm sorry.
Anyways, the plot follows directly from the first film. It's Arthur Fleck is institutionalized at Arkham, awaiting trial for his crimes as Joker. I'm taking this from IMDb. While struggling with his dual identity, Arthur not only stumbles upon true love, but also finds the music that's always been inside him.
To do love, to do.
Thank you, Arun.
हाँ हमेशा मेरे
Anyways.
साथ ही ऐसा क्यों होना चाहिए या anyway
It's just
yeah
because of the shave. But anyways, yeah. So, so yes,
Sai that
okay. I think
is
Sai
Sai
has
that
written
is
something
so personal. Sai that is so personal, man.
similar to her guy. Oh wow.
This is your ADHM, this is your villain origin.
I
This
mean,
is your
don't be.
ADHM.
I don't know. See again. See, like it's fine. Like again, I had the hardest time simply getting into, and I'll be critically. I guess I don't think the film has a rhythm or a flow. It, and the film is
It's
supposed to be somewhat fragmented. I understand that, but fragments can
there is a
also have a
positive
rhythm.
review. There is a positive review about this movie in which
Yeah.
somebody says कि the movie identifies the musicality of a film, and I'm like, मूवी में रिदम कहाँ है बहन चोद मूवी में रिदम कहाँ है for
But
a
what's the
movie
musicality
about
they were
music
talking about?
I have no idea.
Because that was one of my big issues. I was just like, there is no sense of, because so for me it's fairly like this film is simpler in some ways, because it's, again, we talk, for me it's like a clarification of the first
from a
film, right?
from a plot point it's simpler because plot है नहीं. It's a line, it's not even a plot, it's a line. Plot है नहीं movie में ठीक है.
Okay, I wasn't going to be that harsh, but I was going to say that it, to me, it's Arthur Fleck. It's the two identities wala thing, right? Arthur Fleck versus Joker. That's the central dilemma,
Yes,
dialectic,
that
right? That's
and
the
that
whole
is the
thing.
problem. Yeah, and that is the
Okay.
problem I have. We knew that what in the beginning, in the first movie only, he had a dual personality. We get it. There was a psychic
Yep.
break. We get it, Todd. We got it.
Congratulations, Amartya, on finding your rhythm.
I always have a rhythm. क्या ही कह सकते
Okay.
हैं. गाली देने में
Okay.
I'm always very good. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, so no, what did you? I know you disliked it much more than, well, not much more. You disliked it more than I didn't dislike it. I was thoroughly bored, which
you
I
are
think is
thoroughly
my big
bored.
thing. Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
like, I just never got the hang of the film ever in terms of
No.
getting involved in the drama. I was just like,
You know
scenes are
what I like?
happening.
You know what I liked? I liked how the movie started. I'm like the movie started with a Looney Tunes cartoon ka analogy basically. It's a
Yes.
subversion.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes ka subversion with the Warner
It's a
Brothers logo,
bloody Looney Tunes thing, right?
the music and all that stuff. Merry Melodies score, all that shit he's bringing in, and Joker and this shadow again.
Me and my
इतना
shadow, yeah.
इतना और क्लैरिफिकेशन नहीं चाहिए इस मूवी को.
But
वो
I see. I was
encapsulation
when I
already
went
है.
in, I was like, when I went in, I was like, मुझे तो यही मिलने वाला है in terms of unsubtlety. So I'm like, चलो ठीक है, दे दो. You know,
Yeah.
what I wasn't prepared for was both the loud slash big bits of the movie and the small quiet bits of the movie, both not having any punch in terms of emotional impact, or in terms of it's a clash, right? You're clashing a musical with a realist courtroom drama at times. I'm like, but
Yes.
where's the tension that comes from that? That
और
should be there,
रियलिस्ट
right?
कोर्टरूम ड्रामा कहाँ है?
I mean,
मैं आता हूँ. मैं
realist,
आता हूँ. मैं आता हूँ. मैं आता हूँ वहाँ पे. That was another issue I had.
realist.
Yeah,
No, no,
that
no.
was
But
another issue I had.
it's. I was about to actually a Todd Phillips film, and I was about to say Todd Haynes. God bless. Sorry.
God bless.
Todd Phillips Todd Phillips stages drama like it's a Hollywood film in general. Like it never feels like it's a real thing, which is okay.
अरे वो
It's
ठीक
your
है.
whole
अरे
thing.
वो ठीक है. वो तो एरन सॉर्किन भी करता है. That doesn't mean कि I did not like the Trial of Chicago 7. Unlike you, I love that movie, and it's a Hollywood courtroom
Yes.
drama
Oh, I don't
at
like
its
that at
peak.
all. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's too much.
And unlike you, that's Hollywood. I love that movie, and that is Hollywood courtroom drama at its peak. I love that movie. But
Isn't the
again,
shadow the shadow the Joker? No, or
the
Arthur is
shadow
the
is the
shadow. You
Joker.
can
The
say.
shadow is the Joker. The shadow is Lee. Lee is also the
Yeah,
shadow.
everyone's he wants to be in the Joker's shadow. If you wanna go
Exactly.
away like that.
Exactly.
No one wants Arthur Fleck. Everyone wants Joker. That's the whole thing, right? So
No one wants Arthur Fleck. Everybody wants the Joker. It's a similar thing to, again, comic book
which
knowledge
is
dropping in 3, 2, 1.
yeah.
It's a similar thing to Spider-Man and the Black Cat ka relationship, in which
Hmm.
Black Cat is attracted to Spider-Man. Black Cat is not attracted to Peter Parker.
Peter Parker. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's a
that was the
symbol.
whole.
Symbol is greater than
The
the
symbol is greater
person.
than the person. That's what
And
it is.
in the case of Joker, the symbol itself is fraudulent, or like whatever. Anyways,
And he
Hangover
buys in.
felt yeah.
Good one. Good one. Really good one.
Uh,
सर शिरीष कुंदर भी इसको देख के कहता मुझे माफ कर दे.
no, we were talking about this before, right? Or did I talk about it in the recording? I don't know. Like, get Baz Luhrmann for the musical sections. I'm like, get him to, put some life into this. Or or the other film which I thought of the most, Lars von Trier's Dancer in the Dark. Where I was like,
Yes.
it's stamped all over this film. I'm just like, but that film in which the musicals are shot in the worst possible camera quality have more life than the musical numbers in this. I'm like,
See, that
come
is
on.
subversion. You're intentionally shooting the musical numbers in the worst quality possible. That is
Like
subversion.
it's shot in the way he shoots like his all of his stuff, which is like
Yes.
sacrilege to a musical fan, because it's almost like, what are you doing? But it's about it's setting it in a real world, and it's
No,
it's
but
that whole magic and everything. Yeah.
again, if we get out of
I
the
don't
cartoon,
think Amartya would appreciate it that much, but yeah.
I appreciated La La Land more after watching this movie. I still don't like it. I still think it's a piece
come
of
on,
trash.
Chris. I don't know if I can go with this on Chris, but I've not seen it, but sure, okay. Throw that hot take, I guess. Anyway, sorry, Amartya, continue.
No, but again, it's the thing about it is that we get out of the cartoon and we find him inside Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Docile is the word for it.
It's totally silent for
It's totally
like I
silent.
like
He's
the pre-credit sequence or whatever that thing
Yes,
is, where he's basically totally quiet, like exactly opposite to the Looney Tunes thing, right? Like it's very
Yes.
contained. Yeah.
So he's docile about it, but as we see him walking by, you clarify it to me as recount some of the elements of the movie. As we see him walking, the first hint that a musical is going to happen is rain is falling, the camera moves up, and then we see colorful umbrellas, and I'm like, fuck you. My first reaction was fuck you. पहली बात तो umbrellas of Schönberg को मत लाओ. I'm
But
sorry.
why?
You
I mean,
don't
it's just
do
like,
that.
okay, you don't need to. Or but the moment of musical dropping should simply be the Harley Quinn
I-
moment. That is the whole
I
thing,
kid.
right?
I kid, but I am just saying कि the musical segment of it all कि ऊपर से वो colorful umbrella है, And then as we go back, we see that the umbrellas are actually black in color and everything while he's walking back again. I'm like, ठीक है, good foreshadowing that something is going to happen related to musicals, related to bright and colorful and everything and all that. But again, when he goes to meet, when he is going towards, is I think it's called the B block singing section or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
He finds a patient looking at him quizzically with interest, and he's also attracted क्योंकि जहाँ पर भी है हम लोग थर्ड की है, इसलिए कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते, so हम लोग थर्ड की है, so there you go. Yeah.
It's a decent moment. I feel like these moments though. No, but these moments, I feel you need 3 more seconds of that camera pushing in almost.
Yeah, you need a second to breathe.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's like hectically edited, but it's edited in a way where where you don't feel the sweep. The
It's
sweep
edited in a
of
way
a
where
musical.
nothing is important. It's edited in a way where nothing is important. It's anti-genre. What this movie is anti-genre in a way. It's anti-everything. It's not anti-cinema because Todd Phillips doesn't want to make an anti-cinema, because if he did that, he would be the most rebel without a cause ever, and he cannot do that because at the end of the day, he needs money. So he's not going to do that. He's not going to make an anti-cinema, but he's going to make an anti-genre. So for romance genre, you need time every second to either sweep you off your feet, because you're going to make a fairy tale musical romance. So you're going to create time or create moments that should, allow you to embrace the feeling of it all.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing enough of a subversion in any case if you're making a Joker sequel and you're making that a musical, right? Like your set pieces aren't like action set pieces; they are musical set pieces. That's the whole memo, right? That's the whole subversion. I do that subversion well, I would say. Like that. That is the whole thing, right? Like if you're gonna subvert it, you need to ace the subversion, like the thing you're going to subvert too. I feel, which this doesn't do.
Well. Stage the musical numbers well, at least, for the love of Christ.
Stage it, contrast it with the drama you have. Like that never feels like something which. There's this one moment where she goes and burns down. I thought the moment began well, but then it sort of proceeded too fast. Like that's the moment where they're in the cinema, they're watching some movie, which is also unsubtly about something to do with identity. But
but again, you were saying like it a transition. He doesn't know how to transition. That was the one time I felt that the transition actually worked, because the fire was already burning. The first song, the fire was already burning when she starts to kiss him, and then they start running. It's a slow motion shot.
Okay.
Corridor and everything, and then they start dancing and everything.
But there's this, but there's this. Even in that,
problem is. Do you know what the problem is? Musical at its core, and I'm speaking to people who are experts on musicals, because they love.
Well, you're not
Bollywood.
Experts. We like musicals, but yeah,
they love Bollywood and they love musicals. So I'm going to speak.
Okay.
I'm going to speak. I hope that you correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Okay.
Musicals at the end of the day rests on your suspension of disbelief.
Of course, yeah.
That's what they are, right?
And the whole objective of musicals is to sweep you off your feet. Like, they are supposed to be emotionally driven, not narratively driven, which is okay. But
you are singing, you are singing a song, but that is not your musical set piece, right? You are singing a song within the reality of the world itself, which is not a musical set piece, that first song, by the way. The first song is happening while the asylum is burning.
Yes. Yeah. So it's not always happening in dream. It's happening between, like, sometimes within a dream
singing, and so while you're singing, it's like you are singing and then you are suddenly falling because you're sleeping. When you are doing a musical, you don't show the problems or the foibles of the human condition. You don't show that. The musical is supposed to be the fantasy.
Illusion.
You go for the illusion. You go for the illusion. Go full on now. Go full on now. If you're going to show me that, go full on. Go show me that they're dancing. She's floating in the air. I would have hated that sequence, obviously, but I'm just saying, go full on. Yeah. She's floating in the air and everything. And then suddenly, here's how you could have constructed the scene. Then suddenly, as she's floating in the air and everything, and Arthur is going to catch her, reality suddenly hits, because the police officer suddenly drag them
Pushes.
down, and then you realize that though they weren't floating, they were actually in the fence.
Yes. Yeah.
Illusion breaks, you see the corresponding reality.
There's
Don't show me
but
the dance sequence within the reality. Don't do
I
that.
think he's doing something Dancer in the Dark like actually in that
Yeah, yeah,
sense
yeah.
to keep it
I
grounded
understood
in
your
a sense of
comparison.
reality, but then that truly drains out all the magic. Like there is no magic like or emotion in the film for me. Like it's just things happening one after the other in terms of events, in terms of you know a character. I barely felt anything for their romance. I was just like, it's such a dry,
Because it wasn't the point. I don't think. I
No,
don't think the
but
romance.
you
I
need to
don't think
buy.
the romance was the point. I don't think the romance was the point.
No, but the
But yeah, I
infatuation needs to
understand.
be somewhat dangerous, right? Like it needs to have some
Because
sort of peril.
infatuation, because infatuation is equivalent to illusion. You need
Yeah,
to believe in the infatuation to understand what is going
but you
on.
don't believe in the illusion, no?
No, I don't.
No,
That's a
no,
problem here.
none of us. Neither do I. Like, because I was just like, I
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
I can see through it. Like, I'm trying to see through it and see.
And
I
it's
was
not
trying
even
to
and
figure out
it's
why
not
it's
even
not
that
working for me.
hard. And it's not even
Hmm.
that hard to see through it, because Phillips
Hmm.
himself is not, working enough to ensure that we are stuck in the illusion rather than showing
Yeah.
us, because it's antithetical to the movie he's actually trying to do.
Yeah.
This is a movie about clarification. अगर
Yeah.
तो मूवी बनाने हो क्लैरिफिकेशन के बारे में, you can't put illusion within it, but you are
Well, the whole
utilizing a
idea is
genre.
to contrast it. No.
You're utilizing a genre which is all about illusion. If the entire point was contrasting, then why the fuck would you stage a musical in the real world, guy?
I guess it's to show that I'm just trying to rationalize it. I'm not.
No,
I
no,
don't
I
know if this was
understand.
the intention.
You are understanding my
Yeah, yeah,
criticism,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Anyway, that
incorporate the
is just,
dance into
yeah,
the
yeah.
narrative, but you have to understand the medium. Yeah, there's this because the other thing I was about to say. There's moments where the film switches. The switch moments from reality to singing, and never did I think it was very smooth. Like it always felt a bit
I think the
awkward.
smoothing, yeah, I think the awkwardness is also because both Phoenix and Gaga are singing.
Hmm.
And Phoenix's singing is, obviously he's not a trained singer like Gaga, so
Which is
Phoenix
fine.
is,
It works in the context of the film also. He's bit his because it's almost like he's learning to sing, like that's the whole thing, right? Because
yeah,
he's learning to sing her tune, let's just say, even if you want to take the metaphorical train that much. But if
उतना
he's
metaphor में जाने का जरूरत नहीं है. Movie is also not going that in. It's
I
fine.
think the movie wants to go places, it's just that it doesn't do it effectively, but whatever.
And
uh,
also it's a fact that where do I put this in? Uh Again, the central thing is we don't buy into the illusion of the romance.
yes,
The infatuation of the romance we don't buy.
which I think
One
Sai
scene I
did,
like.
right? Just
Yeah,
correct me, Sai, if you're still here. Correct me if you, because if you did buy it, then I think the movie I would imagine, work much more than it did for either of us. So, but yeah,
also I think there is one scene which I liked,
okay,
which kind of proved to me that both of these people are mad, which is
okay,
her sneaking into his isolation room,
yeah,
and while he's dreaming, and there is a ballroom dance going on, Hotel Arkham light and everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ, whatever the flying fuck.
yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, when she enters that isolation room and she's like, no, I need to see your real face, and then she paints that and
paints.
everything, there is a very interesting bit of poignant honesty in that moment, which I missed, because that poignant honesty isn't overt. The poignant
Yeah,
honesty is natural. The
yeah.
problem with all other moments of honesty in this movie, one of the bigger moments of honesty comes at the final act when he's
That's
literally
very, that
telling
just
you.
comes out of anywhere only. I feel like,
Yeah,
that's the whole,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So both of them, so exactly what Sai says, Folie Deux. So that scene in the isolation chamber is the moment that you buy into the Folie Deux, which again
Yeah.
begs the question. Why would you put a musical number before that then? And also the fact of the matter is, keep poignant moment of honesty. I miss that, because that moment, his hurried consummation, you know, that entire sequence, the fact that he's clumsy and everything, I bought all of that. Those are the real moments of this movie where I actually liked bits of it.
Sure.
I have to search for moments like that in this entire
No,
movie
that's
because
true.
honestly,
I
I
also have to
don't.
I have to search for moments that I think like I feel by tomorrow or day after I will barely remember this movie. You know that it's that sort of movie for me. Except I actually think I like the ending. It
I
and I
did not
like
care. I did not
fair enough,
care.
but I think I was that was the one time where I was like, okay, I kind of get the emotional tuning that Phoenix and the film are going at, like because it is because to me in both films Arthur Fleck is quite sympathetic as a character when he's not being Joker, right? It does feel like he's someone who essentially just wants to be seen, but no one wants to see him unless he's basically a murderer or like a symbol for murder and
Again, the
anarchy,
symbol.
which is a
Again, the
tragedy.
symbol of anarchy. Yeah. Again, the symbol of
Yeah,
anarchy.
yeah.
So, I think
I
one of
think
the
Sai though there are like I think he intends to make that impact a
he
lot by
intends to
having
make those
those,
moments. He intends to
but
make those quiet moments,
with
which are
those
more
with
or
those
less.
loud moments almost, right, with the
Yeah, yeah.
musical a lot of times.
He's
Yeah.
contrasting them, but he can't transition between the two sequences. That's a big issue. And
And
also,
neither, but the smaller sequences are also not interesting. That's my issue. Like like even like the Brendan Gleeson stuff is okay, but like apart from
Brendan
that,
Gleeson stuff is okay because it's Brendan Gleeson.
yeah, but the Steve Coogan interview happens, and I'm like, we are going back to that whole thing where he yells at society. Then we are, it's
There is
the
one moment in that Steve Coogan ka interview where where Lee, while watching it on the television, suddenly picks
breaks it
up
and takes the TV.
he
Mm,
breaks it and takes the TV. I like that moment. I'm like,
yeah,
nice,
but it's
good
also
job.
basic. I mean, it's also her character. She's enamored by the television image of the person, right? She's not
Rare moment
enamored
of
by him
honesty.
itself.
Rare
Yeah,
moment of
exactly.
honesty.
So I mean, the film has ideas. It was my sort of thing. It's just I just never got into it. I was just like so
I'm like,
disinterested.
I think I would have given size rating to the movie. That is a
Hmm.
basic 3 out of 5. I'm not
No,
going
I
to
think
speak for you,
Sai
Sai.
liked it more. Omkar gave it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for you, Sai or Omkar,
Hmm.
but I would have given it a 3 out of 5 if the movie did not have that absolutely stupid as fuck courtroom sequence, which is the entirety of the second half.
Yeah.
That courtroom sequence
Oh
is
yeah, you were
one
talking about how
travesty. One travesty.
did you not
Jesus
like the musical
Christ.
number in the courtroom where he
That is the one
smashes the
musical
covers
number I
inside?
liked.
I
That
thought
is
that
the
was
one musical
that
number.
was the one musical number where I thought, oh, okay, I kind of see what you're getting at here.
Hmm.
Though I see it too much, which is the other thing also with
Yes.
Todd Phillips. Like it's as blunt as being hit in the head with that judge
With yeah.
arm hammer, unfortunately, which is
Yes.
okay. If you're going unsubtlety, you
Many
think then
people
it's
are
fine.
angry. Many people are angry that the movie Joker does not do violence except in the dream
That is
sequence,
the
and I'm like, that's the
point.
point.
That is
That's
not
not
so.
a criticism.
Those are
That's the
not the
point.
criticisms that I'll level at it. I would what
That's
I
not
would
the
say is that
criticism.
whatever it does apart from the violence, like to counter the violent that Joker is a violent maniac
All of
narrative,
those are
is
dumb.
not interesting.
All of those are
So
dumb. The courtroom sequence is utterly dumb. It
yeah,
is utterly dumb. First of all, I'm going to represent myself. ये पैतरा ना निकालो यहाँ से, please, for the love of
this has
Christ.
happened a lot of times in a lot of movies, right?
Yes, ये पैतरा निकालो यहाँ से, please, for the love of Christ. Tulsa King, a show which airs now its second season. Its
Yeah.
latest episode came out 2 days ago. Sylvester Stallone's character is a gangster. He also represented himself. And that was a stupid courtroom sequence. But I bought that sequence because
Yeah.
Tulsa King as a show itself is very light-hearted and very whimsy and
Sure.
very stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not.
It
It
was
doesn't work here.
okay. Fine. Is it though, Chris? Is it? Man, she is so harlequin. I'm like Arthur Flex.
See,
You have a very
Sai,
personal connection with this. Then.
yeah.
Uh,
So we can't convince you, man. We can't convince you, man.
which is fine. I think again, if things hit people on a personal level, I don't think there's any need
Yeah,
to convince.
yeah. We can't
I,
convince you,
yeah,
so we are not even going to. You
yeah.
like listening to us rant about this movie? Thank you very much.
No, I extended the offer to him to come for the because I was looking for people who really liked the film, right?
Yeah.
So I know he was busy and he couldn't make it online at this, like on the live stream. So he said that he'll join in the comments. So thank you for contributing both personal and critical opinions on it. That's the reason I did. It's fine.
Great.
You can like it. Sai. Like a lot of people
Yeah,
are
you
going to
can
like
like
it. As a response, I'm pretty sure like the reception has now started to go the other way, which is
हाँ क्योंकि क्योंकि
par
वो
for
तो करना
course.
ही पड़ेगा
Yeah,
क्योंकि वो
par
तो
for course. Yeah.
my reaction on the reception I will get into it later also, but
Yeah, yeah.
again,
Just finish your courtroom
courtroom
shouting.
tirade, courtroom tirade, yes. The
Yeah.
courtroom tirade is basically into how stupid it is, because at the end of the day, if you are going to do something, I don't understand the movie. The entire courtroom sequence, I really don't understand. It is so pointless.
Do you think it's to just, again, as we said, it's about clarification. Do you think it's just a good medium to do the whole, it's a good way in which I will make the clarification even more clear because I get the framework of introducing it inside a courtroom?
HBO Max का मूवी डाल देना चूतिए, 240 रुपए का टिकट करवा के हम लोग को मूवी क्यों दिखा रहा है?
You got paid for writing the review, so it's okay.
I'm not. I did not
Okay.
write. I was
you
supposed to
didn't
write an
write.
explainer. I was supposed to write an explainer. I
Okay, so
came
you
back
just
after
paid
watching
for
the
it.
movie, and I came back after watching the movie, and I wrote to my boss, I'm not going to write anything about this. This is dog shit.
Okay, I didn't know this. Okay, fine. Uh, I
No,
get it.
but
It's just, but that's okay. That's how it's okay. That's totally fine. There's no problem with that.
the
Yeah.
entire problem of the courtroom sequences is entirely pointless from a narrative point. I don't know
Hmm.
if you agree with me or not, but I felt that the courtroom sequence I felt was pointless, at least from a
But
matter
what
of
else
fact.
would they have done apart from that?
That is true. What else would they have done? But again, why would you make the movie? Why would you make the movie? That is my bigger
To
question. Though.
clarify, to clarify what we are actually telling you.
अरे तो अगर clarification ही करना होता ना, then why
तो
are you
फिर
doing
इंटरव्यू
it?
कर देते.
Yeah, yeah. The Steve Coogan interview here's a ballsy move. Just make the entire movie based on an interview, except by that point you are also putting in musical sequences.
Probably people who fucked up society can only resonate with Joker. With
Elon
Joker,
Musk?
yeah. I mean, again, I don't know, Arvind. I'm pretty. I'm not pretty sure. I shouldn't assume, but I don't know if you've seen Taxi Driver or King of Comedy. I am fascinated by characters like, well, not Joker, but people who are on the brink, essentially, right? Of they're on edge. They can collapse at any moment in time. So I don't think it's collapse into a form of disorder and chaos. It's just this. I don't know how much Joker. We have one Joker who's great. I feel like let's just leave it at that. And I'm not talking about 2019's Joker.
Also the fact is, I think here's what the
Hmm.
courtroom sequence is ultimately required from a narrative standpoint to show कि दुनिया में बाहर all the people are losing their goddamn minds. I wish
Yeah.
I had a whiskey here. People are losing their goddamn minds
We should be
because
smoking for this episode, considering how much
yeah
they smoke.
yeah because Joker is on trial. Arthur Fleck or the Joker is on trial. The entire narrative sequencing is the fact that in the first act of the courtroom sequence, he is docile, but he is somewhat energetic because Lee is with him. Then he
It's the
has a psychic.
Arthur turning into Joker,
Yeah,
right?
the
That
Arthur
stuff. Yeah.
turning into Joker in that great musical sequence in the courtroom
Yeah.
where he basically destroys the judge by
Judge.
bashing him through the head, and then he suddenly changes himself and he says, "Oh, you bet, I'm going to do this. You bet, I'm going to represent myself." Then he returns the next morning with makeup all over his face, and he's trying to represent himself, and he represents himself in a judge voice which sounds suspiciously like Foghorn Leghorn. It's all
Yeah, it
stupid.
reminded Dan Craig in in
Yes, in
Knives Out.
Knives Out, because that is inspired from that Looney Tunes cartoon, Foghorn
Yeah.
Leghorn. Yeah, so I
But I
understand.
do don't you think so? So I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and again I can like unfortunately the line I have to keep on repeating is I was just not interested in any of it. Like I was just like it was just happening on the screen, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
like I wasn't like कि क्या चल रहा है? I'm like I know क्या चल रहा है.
I
I'm
know
like
क्या
I
चल
don't
रहा है. I
I
also
don't
know why you are
care.
doing this. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Like I
We
can
don't.
appreciate it on a conceptual level, but on a dramatic level, I just, there's no
It is
connection
dramatically
between.
so goddamn inert, and it is
Yeah,
also dramatically goddamn inert because you're not letting any moment breathe. Nah, every
yeah.
dramatical sequence you're inserting a musical number.
That's also true. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I'm generally the musical defender, but like, what? I
Every
don't. But
dramatical
I didn't
sequence you're
like it.
introducing a musical number.
I think his sensibility in general is big. Like he likes to
Hmm,
go operates at a higher pitch of drama.
hmm.
So when his musical, I mean, I don't think the musicals are very good. Also, which is the other thing. Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but like I didn't really
There,
find
there
many
is a
of them or any
sequence.
of them
There
that
is a
memorable.
sequence, right? There is a musical sequence. I don't remember the song at this moment. Gaga fans don't kill me. There is a song in the musical sequence in which she is basically playing the piano and she is creating a song where
That's the
Phoenix's
very dream
Joker is doing
sequence, right? Is it
Phoenix's
that's
Joker is doing a
entertainment?
tap dance. Phoenix's Joker is doing a tap dance in the
I
on the
think it's
stage.
that's
I,
entertainment only,
yeah,
which
yeah.
which is
It's
what I
reminding you of
used for my headline
yeah,
or
yeah. It's
title of this.
reminding you
Yeah.
of it's not even reminding you. It's a ripping off of Chicago. Oh,
Okay.
the musical
Rob Marshall.
Rob Marshall,
Oh.
Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Okay.
Richard Gere number. By the way, Richard Gere was a
Sure.
terrible dancer in that movie. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But again, the point being, uh, it doesn't. Each and every sequence, if you're inserting a song, कोर्टरूम से निकल रहे हैं ये दोनों suddenly एक गाना आ जाता है they are getting married and I'm like look I understand you are shooting those sequences in such a fashion that they look like comic book splash pages with the complete dark completely black background and
Yeah.
then Joker wearing that white tuxedo. It's fantastic. It works
Yeah.
fantastic as a poster,
Yeah.
fantastic as a poster, but
Yeah.
as a sequence it never worked for me because you are
Yeah,
not
but that's
giving
the
me.
whole thing. I feel like none of the sequences or a lot of the sequences just feel flat. Like they don't feel like they have. Like it's hard to some. That's why I was saying. Like I think it's to do with the editing. It's to do with this whole thing of stick more to one shot or maybe stick like it's just the timing of cutting to reaction shots also. Like it's every like thing within a sequence is what sort of bothered me. I was never getting the weight of the emotion ever. And I was like,
Hmm.
which is weird because I think there's two sequences in Joker which really do that very well. One of
Final
them,
sequence, final
the final
sequence with
sequence at Frank Murray, I think is very good. And I think
Hmm.
the one before that with Mr. Puddles, who does come back, I think that actually captures the tragi-comedy even better.
That is the one
In
sequence
some.
because Puddles is in an entirely different movie. Puddles is in the first Joker movie, and
Yeah.
Joker Folie do is running around, running circles around him. That's what
Yeah.
it's going on. He's in the
But
first Joker
he's the
movie.
counterpoint, right? He's the
Yeah,
counterpoint to Joker. He's the one who
yeah.
reminds Arthur that
Of
he
Arthur.
is
He's the one who reminds
of.
Arthur of Arthur. That's what
Yes.
he's doing, right?
Is
But
it
again,
enough though for him to change his whole quote unquote tune? I don't think so.
no.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have. Here's the problem
Hmm.
I have. My problem is, and this the internet has also pointed out, rare moments where internet is being helpful. Joker Joker suddenly reverts to Arthur Fleck after going back to the prison and then getting quote unquote raped by the three security guards, getting through a
Hmm.
trauma, and then coming back to the sequence and then
But wouldn't that
getting
push him
through
in
it.
the other direction even
Wouldn't
more?
that push him in the other direction?
That's what I
That
think.
is one.
Yeah.
That is one. Number two, if you are going to do this, first elaborate to me what the courtroom sequence is ultimately about. Is the courtroom sequence ultimately about proving that he's insane?
I think the courtroom
Or is
sequence is about the last
or
speech
is the
he
courtroom
gives.
or is the courtroom sequence about the fact that he has committed the murders and he should be tried? Because if that is the case, then him trying as the Joker is further proving the point that
Is
he has committed the
is
murder
this the
already.
prison? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I never got the impression that it was a sexual thing there. I thought it was more about a physical
I
and
think it
mental
was
abuse,
very
but
clear.
apparently
I think it was
okay,
very
fair
clear.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. But if it is that, I would assume that it wouldn't be something that will make him quote unquote Arthur again. I thought the whole the in the film's world of mental illness,
And
that's
that is
the
the
whole
problem.
ideologue they
And that
give,
is the
right?
problem I have. And that is the problem I have. We don't know because none of us are mental health experts. That is
Yeah.
one. If that isn't very clear, none of us are mental health experts. If
Film
if that
critics.
isn't doubly
That's a
clear,
different. Yeah.
if that isn't doubly clear, neither is
Yeah.
Todd Phillips.
Yeah, but like if you're making a movie about it, you research and you take, opinions from people.
No,
That's
if
what
you are
people
making a
do.
movie about mental illness in a comic book landscape, you research about your comic book world and then you do something about it.
Sure,
Mental
sure, sure.
illness in a comic book or a heightened world is different. Look at M. Night Shyamalan's Split.
Yeah, yeah.
That
No,
is
I agree.
different.
Hmm.
Your
I agree.
world is supposed to be the Joker in a realistic world, but you are again putting in musical because you have to clarify your first movie and you also have to do an anti-genre movie. Which is it, Todd?
All. It's everything. Anything
Does
goes, Amartya. That's the one of the things that they sing. Keep on. I've written this down. They keep on singing. Anything goes. Anything. Whatever. What's the other
yeah.
lyrics of it? Wait. I'm searching. You can continue your tirade.
No,
Anything can go. I was
it's
like
a rat.
nothing, but nothing
Nothing
goes
is
in this
going.
movie.
Nothing is going. And it's a
Yeah.
ratatouille thing. And it's a ratatouille thing of it all. Ratatouille, the dish, not the movie. It's a
I was about to
ratatouille
ask
thing of
you what's the
yeah.
Pixar connection here. Yeah.
The ratatouille dish, not the movie.
Yeah.
हर ingredient को अगर mix करोगे होगा नहीं ना.
I mean, you can do it. It's called a great masala movie, or it's called a great Bong Joon-ho movie.
But,
That's
but a great masala movie has gradations of it taken on a very fine scale.
no.
Great
This
masala
see,
movies.
it's very hard to do it in the language that he's trying to do it here, because he's not a. I think he has a moralizing bone to him also, because this film is very
Moralizing,
moralizing.
this is preaching bone. This is basically preacher.
Preaching, it's very like it's the whole everyone in society is horrible, society is bad, right? Kind of like that,
Yeah.
which because the whole blame
अबे
in
पता
the
है
end comes down.
अबे
Yeah.
पता है सोसाइटी खराब है पता है साले and
I
it's
have no
also
idea about this. Okay, so everybody.
maybe somewhere Shankar is very happy क्योंकि इंडियन 3 तो डायरेक्टली नेटफ्लिक्स में रिलीज होगा.
Everyone is going home for sure. I don't well, I understand why people will walk out because they are bored. I don't know if I understand if people are like, I don't get the. I guess you are also angry about the film, but I guess
No,
anger
but
from
also,
boredom is a different thing.
yeah.
So
Also, here's the thing: if you're going to clarify something to me, you are going to clarify something. Okay, fine, whatever. The movie sucks. Get on with it. Fine. You are going to clarify this movie to me. Fine. You are going to tell me that Arthur Fleck has finally realized the error of his ways. His psychic break is gone. He's now fully Arthur Fleck again, and now he's going to admit to the murder. So that's what he does. He sits down like he's in some fucking comedy club. He sits down with the makeup in hand, makeup
yeah,
and everything, and he's telling you that he's the one who committed the murders. Oh, and
yeah,
before I remind myself, I also killed my mother in the previous movie. That's what he's
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
All of that is good. Everything is fine. And then the result comes, and before you do anything about the result, the courtroom suddenly blasts. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
but I was expecting the courtroom to blast, or I was expecting some terrorist act to. I thought Harley would do it, because I thought it was because she was trying to, get this image of Joker alive, in some ways. So now I'm a bit. No, but there's hellish people. But
सर
no, but I
सर
think.
एक सेकंड फिर तो यही कहना पड़ेगा कि टाइमिंग गड़बड़ है. ठीक है, क्योंकि क्या हुआ मैं एक बात बताता हूँ. If you are going to do this again, if your entire conceit is that Joker should remain in the fantasy of the people and everything around you,
Yes.
you should do this before he's going to pronounce. You should do this before he's going to pronounce to you that he's going to take over the rap for the murder and everything. You should do it almost immediately. If you are Lee Quinzel,
Acha,
if you
no,
are the
no.
one
Actually, yeah, the blast happens.
after,
Oh yeah, Lee just leaves now that time.
yeah, Lee leaves.
Oh, then I don't know. Then it's just plot.
अरे तो वही ना प्लॉट कहाँ से आया प्लॉट तो है नहीं मूवी में प्लॉट कहाँ से आया
No,
बीच
but
में
it's just to get to the ending. Then no, like it's one of those moments. I feel it's like
महाचूतिया मूवी है प्लॉट आ जाता है बीच में अजीब है
no, but like I don't know. I was fine with the blast. Just I mean, well, because something happened, but also
yes
because
yes that was my reaction something happened
yeah, but no, but I think it's also to do with this whole thing that because the verdict goes against him, so you would assume, because I think it's hinted throughout the film that there's a lot of his followers who are outside, right, outside the courthouse. So when they hear or ever like that happens, you would expect for his type of followers to commit that action, right? That's the whole implication that they are.
Or if it is because Todd Phillips is a genius, he's saying, see, these people are so dumb they did not even orchestrate the plan beforehand. They orchestrated the plan after. God, Todd Phillips thought incels are so dumb. See.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, I can't.
Whatever.
I see.
it's stupid.
I'm just trying to rationalize it. But anyways, after that, the
After
whole
that sequence, by
is
the
the
way,
long
when the
take, right?
blast happens, by the way, when the blast happens,
Oh, the Two-Face moment.
yeah, the Two-Face moment happens. I'm like,
I wish his accent also changed at that point in time. 2 accents at least. Anyways, I was so bothered by it. I messaged you in the interval. I happened. I was like, what is this? I don't understand. Anyways, and then the
Acha,
film,
did you
like,
get
he
two
has the.
intervals? Did you get two
No, I don't.
intervals?
No, why did you all want people to
Yeah,
leave
I got
more?
2 intervals. एक second, I got 2 intervals. एक interval is hall का दिया हुआ interval. ठीक है?
Okay.
Which happens 10 minutes before the actual interval. Hall का
Yeah.
दिया हुआ interval in which I ordered popcorn, chicken wings and cold drink because I was already bored. I needed to eat.
I had my
के बाद
coffee
आया-
until.
Yeah, 10 minutes के बाद आया the actual interval which Warner Brothers India has put with an interval and everything. But
Oh,
तब तक तो
okay.
interval हो चुका था इसलिए अब मुझे बैठना पड़ेगा फिर advertisement हो रहा है. So I am eating my popcorn and I'm waiting for the movie to
I think
begin.
Todd Phillips has an excuse as to why the film might not be doing well in India, because they're
Though
putting too
interval.
many intervals. Yeah. Though I have to say, I was the only person in my hall, and it was the best experience I've had in a cinema hall for the longest time. Okay, so most shows in India got to from why
Yes,
it's a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah. See, two
Why will it
intervals
get
in
to?
India.
I only got one, so I was lucky. I would have walked. And I wouldn't have. I didn't hate it that much. So I was also.
I wouldn't have walked out also because I was curious. I wanted to see what he's going to do. फिर आया ये courtroom sequence, dumb fuck courtroom sequence. फिर courtroom
But
sequence
then you get
को
the
he
long
blasted
take,
it
right?
out. Yeah, courtroom sequence he blasted it up, which again proves to you that the entire courtroom sequence is ultimately pointless. The entire courtroom sequence is pointless because it literally blows the courtroom off.
No, but the whole. But where else does the whole illusion thing break? Because that's the courtroom के end में तो illusion break होता है, right? Joko का. It's not convincing how he gets to that point, but
Yeah,
you know that.
which is not convincing at all.
But that plot point is required then for whatever happens later, right? Like this, his whole how basically everyone around him again abandons him in a sense, abandons Arthur, not the Joker. The Joker
Yes.
lives on, right? So
That's
that
a tragedy.
blast
I
woke me
understand.
up.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the
Anyways.
tragedy I understand. फिर एक long take
Okay.
आता है, which is why I can't exactly rate this movie a half out of 5. I can't do that. क्योंकि
I
that
think I
sequence,
disliked it that much.
I gave it a 1.5.
No,
So
no,
it's
like I was like half तो इतनी बुरी तो नहीं थी. Like I mean, but
हाँ,
again, my
ये
stand.
Everton-
But I think you
ये
and
Everton
me are
मेरे
fairly
वतन-
lenient.
ये एवर्टन मेरे वतन और मतलब मैडम वेब तो नहीं है. So it's like
And also, I don't associate you with giving half stars that much. I don't know. I feel you are nice to movies, as am I.
I'm mostly
I
nice.
feel, but apparently I'm not. So
Yes.
it's okay.
No, but again, it's the thing.
Which
about
you
it
will
is-
find out next week when we talk about Control. And Jigra. If Amartya is coming for Jigra, that is.
I'm not watching that movie. Fuck no.
You come for Control, you liked it more than me. So, yeah.
Half star more than you, sir. वो like नहीं होता है. But
I
again,
know. Yeah, but go
again,
ahead.
the thing about this is कि when that one take sequence happened, that sequence I really like. So it's like
Yeah.
I get the point. He's in the car. He's getting up. He's still disillusioned. He's still confused.
No, I
He has
like that
also got
scene,
concussion. That entire sequence I liked.
Yeah.
That he's running and everything. The car comes and everything.
Again, though, I thought that just make Harley kill him.
Yeah.
I thought, I was like, why the garbage setup you've been doing throughout the whole movie lazily?
And the whole point of this entire one take sequence is he runs off and everything, and then he goes to Harley, and Harley is like, you did not match up to my wavelength. You did not want to live in that fantasy. I'm like, तो इतना काम क्यों करवाया बंदे से? ये क्या
I mean,
है?
she thought he will buy into that persona, right? Like she thought he will.
अरे तो अगर ऐसा ही है तो प्लान करो ना पहले से ब्लास्ट ऑफ करने के लिए. चूतिए हो क्या?
No, but I just thought she would kill him. I was like, why did she not kill him? I thought that was where the film was leading to. You know, I thought
I was also
she
like,
is,
why
yeah,
didn't you kill him? Why didn't you kill him? Just kill him. The
because he's just
fandom
pathetic Arthur, right? That's the whole thing. That Arthur is
and
pathetic and
and isn't
lonely,
that what you're
and
clarifying? Isn't that what you're
yeah,
clarifying? That at the end of the day, this is a guy who bought into the hype,
yeah,
of his own badly made symbol,
yeah.
and
Which he
became
didn't even
something that,
intend to make. I feel. I don't think he wanted to
yeah,
make a symbol. He saw that people popularized it, and then sort of, you know, got more and more enamored by it because everyone else around him started to like that. I mean, he is a tragic character, like
he's a
Arthur is,
tragic
not
character.
Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Arthur
yeah,
is a tragic character. So
yeah,
you want to do a further tragedy, let the person whom he fell in love with
yeah,
kill him.
yeah.
It would have been easier.
I
Problem
thought it would
that
have made more sense also. Like, I guess they have to do the joke. I guess the Joker, who is the Joker, the guy who kills him and then cuts his mouth with that fucking
yeah,
thing, which
क्योंकि
happens.
हीथ लेजर को तो represent करना पड़ेगा. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the Harley thing would have made total sense. Like, I thought that would have at least fit in terms of his ending
I
more
would have
also.
liked the movie better if that happened.
Yeah, because I was like,
I would have
yeah,
actually
it's
liked
a,
the movie better
and I would
because
have
I would have
actually
bought
I
into the nihilism. I would have bought into the nihilism. You know what? It would have actually worked because it would have also
and
signified that the
his
fandom is destroying the product. The
absolutely and
fandom is
his
destroying the product.
body lying in like next to his house outside it or whatever, like
Yes, yes,
just
yes.
rotting. Like, I'm sorry, I know it sounds very awful, but that's the sort of vibe the film is wanting to go for, because
We
even the
need
end is
awful.
very,
We need
yeah, the whole
awful. It's like
the,
if you're going to contrast, just go all the way, dude.
the
That's the
ending is
problem now.
supposed to be sickening, right? Like, to me
Yeah.
at least it was like, I was like, you know, this, like, a very sad story of this guy who basically is never seen for who he wants to be seen as, and is only seen for something else. So to me it's
I
like,
lit- I literally wrote in my review that I would have loved this if this movie actually came out as a concept album rather than as a movie.
hmm,
Only musical
interesting.
sequences, release कर दो. Visual
Yeah,
album.
only that, or just remove all of them, right? Like something like that.
या फिर 1 घंटे का मूवी होगा. वो 1 घंटे
डेढ़
का मूवी
घंटा
के HBO में 1.5 घंटा भी नहीं होगा. 1 घंटा प्लॉट नहीं है, लाइन है सर. वो प्लॉट नहीं है. वो ये कि लाइन है ये
That's
कोई
also
प्लॉट
fair.
नहीं है. या
That is
इट्स
also
नॉट अ
fair.
प्लॉट.
It's not,
या
yeah.
Yeah.
But
क्योंकि
yeah,
you know what I actually hate about this sort of stuff. All these subversive
say,
movies have one sequence in which one of the characters goes through a bit, goes through a different thing, goes through a journey, and then ultimately goes back to the same place. लास्ट जेडाई में फिन के साथ यही हुआ. इतना सब कुछ किया, फिर उसके बाद he comes back, he's back in the same mode only.
yeah,
His
yeah,
mission fails. He's back in the
yeah,
same mode only. It's the same here. Arthur escapes
hmm,
from the jail only to be rejected, and then he's gone back to jail again. I'm like, क्यों किया?
yeah. क्यों किया?
And I'm
But I think, but I think that
asking
works within, but it works for his character, I feel, no, because it's because
Phillips the screenwriter. I'm asking
huh,
Phillips the screenwriter. क्यों किया? If you're going to do the tragedy, just
hmm,
let him be killed.
yeah,
Let him be
let him be killed
killed.
outside, right? Like, you mean
Ah,
that? Hmm,
let him be killed. Let him be killed by one of the people he made. Let him.
yeah.
Let the god.
Yeah,
Let
I
the
think that's.
fall.
I guess that person who kills him is also one of the person he made, but it just feels so much more. I
It's
don't know,
it's
like it.
it's it's retrofitted. It's retrofitted. It's
Okay.
force fitted.
Do you think it
It's
was
like
also done just to do that
yeah,
background
yeah,
mein
yeah,
cutting
yeah,
the
yeah.
jaw?
Hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So it's
No, no, if you're
it's
going
the
to kill him,
fan
if you're going
servicey
to kill
thing.
him, yeah. If you're going to kill him,
Fan
and
service.
if the entire
Well,
point is,
fans, yeah, people didn't
yeah,
like it at all, so it's okay. Whatever.
if
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
entire point of the movie is, your false god, once stripped of his godhood, he's a
Yeah.
normal person to the
Yeah.
extent that his followers don't recognize him and think of him as a normal person not following their god's laws, and so
Yeah.
they kill the false god.
Yeah.
Bhai, that could be anybody.
And
That
make
doesn't need to
and
be
make
Arthur.
that
Harley also.
make that a myth or a legend, right, or something to do with that, like, you know,
It doesn't need
this
to be Harley
martyr or
also.
whatever it is. Yeah.
It doesn't need to be Harley. It doesn't need to be Lee Quinzel also. It could be any of the guy in the car. It could be any of the guy outside, any of the Joker followers outside who think that he's some sort of a nobody who ran out of jail, and so they kill him.
Yeah.
It would be way better. It would be way better than if Lee kills him, because Lee is his ultimate acolyte.
Yeah. I guess the film is going for something in some ways more colder and indifferent, I guess, because
I
he's
genuinely
actually
think this
not
could have
even.
been colder. I to genuinely think
No,
this would
okay,
have
no,
been
no.
good.
I agree. I agree. I think because I was waiting for that to happen, and I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, fine. She just says bye. I'm like, fine.
Only
I mean, it's not a bad moment. I think that it's well performed. His one of his singing on the telephone things also, I thought was
it
decently
was very
performed.
good. Again, rare moments
Yeah,
of honesty.
yeah.
Rare moments of honesty.
Uh,
That I like.
so it's again for me. It was not a total. I just didn't find it engaging. Is my biggest issue with this film. Thank you, Sai. I'm glad you
Thank
found
you
some
so much.
value in whatever. Yes.
थैंक यू
Uh,
सो मच. इसलिए we need to do live streams or we need to write stuff क्योंकि ये
no,
सब
no, but
nuance
like,
ना
yeah, and talk about
you can't
them in
write within,
detail,
you
right?
can't write on Twitter, you can't write on Twitter, or you can't explain to people who are never going to listen to you, which is what is
Or we
going to
can't even
happen.
explain it away in 10, 15 minutes. I think this, we get to talk about the whole. And I don't think this is so it's one of those I was written. It's the ultimate in theory versus execution film for me. In
100,
theory,
100%.
everything, a lot of things it's doing are just like good, good, good. I'm totally into it. Execution, mein, I'm just like, just
क्या कर रहा
all
है?
the ideas are there, but they're like laid out in like a very clumsy, like ineffectively. So my first thing was it's just a dramatically inept film. Like I just
Yeah.
didn't get into it, which is the
And
biggest
the
problem I
final
had with it.
sequence, if we are going to call, I think
Yeah,
the irony of it is that entire final sequence could have been the short film called Joker Folie. You want to do a fuck you to fans?
yeah.
Just make an 8 minute, just make an 8 minute movie, market it as a 2 hour and 23 minute movie, invite
इतना
the
नहीं कर
audience,
सकते sir.
invite the audience, sit them down, turn that movie on, पहला वो animated sequence दिखा दो, फिर go directly there, show that he's called, goes out, he comes back, the guy kills him, movie is over.
This is
Done.
basically this is
Fuck you to
Alien. So
fans.
so not to I won't spoil. Well, it's a bit of a spoiler. Alien 2 to Alien 3 transition essentially.
Yes, exactly.
Uh, Aliens
Yes,
to Alien
Alien
3.
3.
Sorry.
Yes, Alien 3. A massive fuck you to fans because Alien 3 killed the
Yes.
two emotional hearts of aliens.
Aliens, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Massive
No,
fuck you to fans.
that was one of the things. So, okay, I think we've discussed a lot about the film. I would like us to briefly also talk about the reception of the film, because I told Amartya if you can dig into, the recesses of the internet, please find
the,
some
on-
positive
the
reviews for
only
this
big
movie.
reaction, the only big positive review I had was Mark Kermode's. And
Really,
again, the
it was very positive, or I thought he
it
just
was
like
quite
liked it.
positive. It
Okay,
was quite positive. And
okay.
again, the problem with fat positive review is exactly what you are saying. They like the ideas. They
Okay,
like what it is saying, but they are not pointing out that the execution is very flawed.
okay, okay. Got it.
Execution is massively flawed. And if you are going to tell me that the execution is flawed because it is intentional, I might buy it also. I thought the incompetence is actually intentional because
नहीं यार,
Phillips
like
doesn't
I
want to
was
buy. Yeah, but
because a
again,
lot.
that is too much, right? That is too
I
much.
was like, see, there's a difference between fragmentation and fracturing narratives, which can be very engaging, experimental. Here, it feels to me. I'd written that it's like a start-stop narrative in a way where, it just never gets going. It's just this whole thing of
कोई momentum
one
नहीं है.
point, another point, one point, another point. It's basically like that. So on that account, I don't buy it. Some people say that the romance is intentionally tame. I'm like, if it is so, then it's stupid. Like, to me, that is stupid, because then it's like, what do you have to counter? Then where's the conflict in the film?
If it is
Where's the
intentionally tame, then why do put doing a musical? I am not the big musical
you
fan,
can't
mind
do
you.
you
But
can't
if
do
you're
a
doing it tame,
tame.
yeah, but if you're doing it tame, why are you doing a musical?
To me, it defeats the purpose. And the movies he's
Fully.
referenced also, like, all these apparently classical Hollywood films and everything. And I was just like,
Which movie has he referenced? I want
like
to
he
know.
said, classical Hollywood. Like, again, like one of the
Classical
interviews
Hollywood
where,
मतलब क्या है?
like, movies that commit to the musical, not wishy-washy subversive ones. Also, like Umbrellas of Cherbourg also fully commits to it, even though it's much more grounded in
But Umbrellas
reality.
of Cherbourg is also the romance is also a massive thing, right? You have to buy into
It
the
is the
romance. Otherwise,
thing. It is the
yeah,
thing. It is the thing. Here,
yeah.
I don't buy the romance. So, which again, like side does. So, like again, I am curious to see if people do end up buying the romance, because I think if they do, then yes, because a lot of the conflict hinges on that. I just thought she was very. I didn't have any problem with any of the performances really, except for the Harvey Dent. But I just thought she was underdeveloped as a character. Like she just waltzes in whenever she wants to and everything in a way where I was just like, sure, but don't really care.
All of the positive reviews, at least that's what I'm seeing on Letterboxd, it's all
Yeah.
about ideas, right? The two retreat into their own shared delusions throughout the film, using the fantastical element of music to externalize their internal chaos. I buy that. I bought that because that was literally told to us in the
Told.
movie.
There's nothing
Yes.
I don't think there's
There is
anyone who can
nothing subtle about
overread
this.
this. You
Yeah,
can't
there
overread
is
it.
no overreading about this. That is
Everything
my
is
point.
there.
That is my point. This is not Blade Runner, you assholes.
Well,
This is not
you
Blade Runner.
yeah. I was about to
There
make a
is no, there is
bad
no,
joke
there is
about
no,
Blade Runner spacing, but okay.
there is no do androids dream of electric sheep. They do.
Yeah.
They are dreaming of electric sheep. That's the whole point.
Yeah. I think
Jesus
I,
Christ.
I have a feeling that watching Kubrick or doing that Kubrick binge has positively spoilt me in some ways. But anyways, this
Yeah.
is more actually in relation to something like Control, but not this. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely nominate Lady Gaga for some sort of hardware for Harley Quinn, as she was very lovable right off the rip. Okay, that's your subjective take. Good for you.
Is that letterboxed?
Yeah, that's a letterbox review.
I was going through Rotten Tomatoes. That was a hilarious user reviews there.
However, her
Anyways,
character represented more than just a partner in madness. She also symbolized a mirror to Arthur's internal turmoil. Her
sure.
descent into her own delusion also sheds light on how one's fractured identity can draw others into their mental disorder. I think you meant orbit, but okay.
Yeah.
I may be completely off with this take. See, that is the thing. I may be completely off with this take, but that's to me at least what I think Todd Phillips intended with this sequel. If that is what he intended with this sequel, that should
Yeah.
have been more clear to a lot of people. That
Yeah.
is my problem.
No, but I
This
feel
movie.
I think the film's fairly clear with what all it's doing. I just think it doesn't it doesn't create a drama to say that convincingly, if that makes sense. Which is let me just I guess not end this discussion because I think I had one more question. No, I have one more question after this, but maybe end the Joker stuff on this. Where is my because everything this movie in some ways and Joker in some ways the first one get to is the whole king of comedy thing, which is it's better to be a king for a night than a schmuck for a lifetime. That's what to me both these
This
films
movie is
are. They
playing
are
with, yeah.
yeah, because they're about wanting to become infamous, right? It's better
Yes.
anonymity is the problem in many senses. Neglect anonymity and everything. What everyone wants is a moment in the spotlight, and the way to get it is to be loud, spectacular, brash, anarchic, everything, which Joker is. Arthur isn't, which is why
Yes.
Arthur is the tragic character. Like to me, it's very simple, and I get it. Like I
It's
like
not
the whole
deep.
concept.
It's not deep. That is
Yeah,
the
but I like
problem
the
I have.
concept of it also. I think I don't
Which
mind
is what which
some.
is what another positive which is what another positive reviewer has said, right?
Yeah,
I don't think it's genius. I don't think it's hackery, but I do think it's fascinating. Fascinating how much it doesn't care about being a comic book movie or even about its
yes.
fans or haters of its predecessor.
I
Somehow,
don't.
this
Yeah,
$200 million sequel to a $1 billion movie feels
yeah,
smaller, cheaper, and less interested in conveying any type of pathos or idea through its striking imagery or extremely low key story. And that for me makes the whole thing. There is no
yeah,
Joker, there is no fantasy, the transformation of IP on the big screen, blah 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 blah. Ultimately, the entire point is this is a movie about nothing, which is fine. If this is a movie about nothing, it is
I think
fine.
it's a movie about a broken man. Like to
But
me,
it is
it's to
not a
me.
movie about nothing, exactly. But this is not actually a movie about nothing.
Hmm,
This is a movie about a broken man. And if this is a
yeah,
movie about a broken man, if you are going to sequelize a movie, you could
hmm,
have done it in a different way. But you're not sequelizing the movie. You're
yeah,
doing an anti-sequel. You're doing a clarification. You're doing an
yeah,
annotation.
yes,
You are giving me Watchmen annotated edition than the original
yeah,
Watchmen graphic novel because I'm a dummy who needs to understand what Watchmen is about. Joker
yeah.
Folie is basically annotated edition of Joker with a
It is
toga and
annotated,
a
yeah. To
frock.
me, which is why I was thinking, which is the whole again the king of comedy. Like you watch that movie, and I know Varun had the. I know when Varun watched it, he expressed that he only felt wanted to slap the Rupert Pupkin character. To me, the success of that movie, the beauty of that movie is he's both in equal measures sometimes pathetic and sympathetic for me. I find
Yes.
him deeply uncomfortable because I can see shades of my personality sometimes in him, and I can see shades of someone totally different, and I feel scared when I watch that character. He's creepy, he gets under your skin, and it's I would say it's even more creepy than someone like Travis Bickle, because Travis Bickle does look like a low life, and it does seem like he's totally been beat down by society. King of Comedy has this bright sunshine, almost, it's not covered in noirish
Contrast.
darkness. Yeah, and
Contrast.
it's just like that movie has some way of maintaining tone and ambivalence and just ambiguity. All of it just gets under your or gets under my skin. So which Joker can't have, simply because it's
एक तो
operating at
क्लाउड
such a
मेकअप
higher
है.
pitch.
एक तो
Higher
क्लाउड
pitch.
मेकअप है.
Hmm.
एक तो
Yeah.
क्लाउड मेकअप है, दूसरी आईपी है, तीसरी पिच इतनी हाई है, and that is a flaw by its own design. You
Yeah.
chose to make this a musical, you dumb fucks. You
Yeah.
chose
No,
to
true.
do it.
True. Absolutely. Anyways, so I think we should end
And
about
yes, the
Joker.
point of the movie being कि Todd Phillips made this as a fuck you to the audience, क्योंकि he hates fandom and everything. All of it is fine. My problem with fuck you movies. My problem with fuck you movies is, if your entire ethos of your movie is fuck you, it becomes exhausting really quick.
It's also a long
Look,
movie, which is the other thing, right? So it's not a.
It becomes
Yeah.
exhausting really quick. If you are going
Yeah.
to tell me to fuck off, at least tell me in a better way to fuck off.
That is my final question for our episode. Examples of other films and filmmakers who engage directly, almost dismissively, with the success of the film that came before them in the franchise, unofficial or official. One other example, as you clearly mentioned in the chat, Todd Phillips with Hangover Part 3. A big
Hangover
waste of
Part
time,
3
I think.
Hangover Part 2 was basically a repeat of the first movie.
Sure.
That didn't
Yeah.
work. So when he
No, it
saw
worked.
that did,
It worked.
matlab,
I think
it got bigger money. It got more money.
yeah, the third one, he was not interested in making the comedy, so he just was
Yeah.
like, let me do a crime movie, which is bad.
Hangover Part 3 is basically a bad crime movie but set in the same world. It is effectively a response to those sequels. And it is bad. It is quite
Yeah.
bad.
Hi Vakar, how are you? Vakar is
As far as
fine
fuck you
friend.
audience movies go, how bad is this film? It is pretty bad. I think it is not as I think it is much more creative than some of the fuck you audience movies. Like, it's more creative than Hangover 3, that I can tell you. That I can
It's
tell
more
you.
interesting. Hangover 3 is just
Hangover 3 is just
nothing.
mean-spirited. Kuch
it's
nahi hai
nothing
usme.
also. It's a nothing movie. No, but again, we were just trying to come up with
Fuck
names
you
because we were
audience-
thinking about
fuck
like
you
Star
audience
Wars,
movies.
Last Jedi is not a fuck
Star
you
Wars The
audience
Last
movie.
Jedi. No, Star Wars The Last Jedi is a fuck you audience movie. In that, Star Wars The Last Jedi did not intend to be a fuck you audience movie.
Yeah.
The audience took it as a
turned-
fuck you.
Yes.
The audience
They
of
were
Star
mad.
Wars, who are now, who we have, both me and Dhruv have realized, constitute of mostly dumb fucks and chuds. Like, those people don't have two brain cells. A majority of those people don't have two brain cells. So they took that movie as a fuck you.
Okay.
V- Very clearly, they took that
No,
movie as
of
a
course.
fuck you.
I mean, that movie.
Because
I
Last
can't
Jedi,
remember. Ghostbusters is the last film before that, I think, which got that much vitriolic hate.
Yeah, Star Wars
from
The
their
Last
own
Jedi is
fans,
amazing.
right?
It is amazing. It is one of the better movies of the better kya. I
Yeah.
rate it closer to Empire Strikes Back. I really love that movie.
Yeah, but
Have you seen
Bakar,
some of the
it's
frames of that movie?
I like
Have you
Ryan
seen-
Johnson in general, so yeah.
Have you seen some of the frames of that movie? God damn, that red
I
colored
still
room.
remember that Speed, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
Laura
yeah,
Dern
yeah.
does the attack where the whole
Yeah.
cinema went silent, and I literally was like, "Wow, that's some image."
Artistic as hell.
Yeah, but I think you can, in some ways, compare parts of Joker to Star Wars: The Last Jedi in the ways they actively
It is very
seek to
subversive.
disrupt audience expectation. And in this, I think in Joker, they even say at one point in time, should we give the audience what they want? And then they do like a Looney Tunes violence skit So there is that contempt almost.
Again, there in the contempt also, he's like pulling back because Harley's character shoots, Lee's character shoots him, and then he falls down, and then he's looking at them with shock. Then
Yeah.
that's very weird. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, क्या weird turn of image है. But जो भी हो.
Yeah.
Another fuck you audience. I don't know if it is fuck you audience. I think if we go by basic
I think it's
subversion, the
how I think
Matrix
it's not just fuck.
Resurrections,
It's not just fuck you audience. It's fuck you studios who
the
want.
Matrix Resurrections. The
Hmm.
Matrix Resurrection is a major fuck you audience. Many
Audience
do
of fuck you studio.
fuck you
Is it
both
both?
only. It's both
Okay.
only. I like that movie because actually that movie is very well made. That's a bigger
Sure.
thing. More importantly, that
That's
movie
what
is
you were
very well
saying,
made.
right? Like that. It's much more well made than this
Yeah.
type of movie. So yeah, those are the only ones we could come up with in terms of.
Another blatant fuck you audience movie, and it is not even subversive. It is just blatant fuck you to critics and everybody. It is a blatant fuck you by a filmmaker to the critics of his previous movie. I guess you know
Oh
where this is
Jesus
going.
Christ! No,
I
you
guess
don't
you
need
know
to
it.
mention it.
Yeah, you know where this is going. I'm not
Yeah,
mentioning it, but you know where
yeah.
this is going. Yes.
We have an episode
Uh,
on that movie. You can check it out.
yeah, we have an
It's
episode on that
clubbed
along with two
with
other movies.
12th
Yes.
Fail and another favorite of ours, Sam
Yes,
Bahadur.
and Sam Bahadur. You can understand
Yeah.
where this is going.
Yes.
Anyway, so there's
No,
that.
but that's a bad example because that's a bad movie.
No, that is a bad movie. I'm just saying that's also
Yeah.
a fuck you audience.
Yeah.
That is a fuck you. That is a fuck you to critics.
Fuck you, critics. Hmm.
Yeah, fuck you, critics.
Again, that much importance only him and Charlie Kaufman give to critics. So
Yeah, that
let's
is true.
take it.
And Charlie Kaufman is a much more better filmmaker. Much better
Oh yeah,
filmmaker.
well yeah. I'm sorry for putting them in the same sentence, but yes, most definitely, both a great, much better filmmaker and an infinitely better writer.
Writer, yes.
Yes. So no, I
I
did
think
not
fuck you-
intend to draw them in the same.
I think fuck you audience is also, I think Lars von Trier. I think Lars von Trier, many movies are kind of subversive towards genre itself. How genre expectations ko subvert kar rahe.
There's more people, but he also provides you with. He's just very abrasive. Also, his thing is to do with putting you off more than anything
Yes.
else. Kiss ko compare. I mean it. But the
It-
critic thing is
huh.
true. That
It
is
is,
true.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's written a
And-
book in which he basically made Richard Brody one of the main characters. So it's
Yes.
like a. This is of course not
Another lovely fuck you critics movie is the 1998 Godzilla
Birdman
movie by
even
Roland
is.
No, 1998 Godzilla movie by Roland Emmerich, in which there are two characters. There is the mayor of New York is named Ebert, and his
Okay.
assistant is named Siskel. And his assistant is named
Of
G.
course, it's as subtle as this, right? So
Yes, because Roland Emmerich.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
At
other
least
film
Roland knows he's
is
making
Birdman, whatever. Or even whatever actually Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu does. Even Bardo is very similar.
Bardo
like
is
that,
fuck you audience. Bardo is fuck you audience. Bardo is entirely fuck
He's
you
written
audience.
a book. Are you? I'm not sure. I thought he did like one of those experimental, the 5 obstructions, which is like a experimental film about film rules and all that's nonsense.
Bardo is fuck you audience. Bardo is fuck you audience in the way that it is masturbatorily tone deaf. I'm bringing back my statement about the movie.
That sequence in Joker ka ending reminded me of the opening bits
In
of
Bardo?
in Bo is Afraid, our other favorite.
Boy is afraid.
Because
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix is running, right? So it's
Yes.
the same thing. He's essentially playing Bo in this film as Arthur at sometimes, I suppose. You don't like either of the films, so I can compare them, right? Both of them are enormously long. They don't need to be that long, etc.
Boy is afraid. Boy is afraid is the ultimate proof of that axiom. Men will do anything but go to therapy.
But he does go
That
to
movie-
therapy. उसके बाद भी ये होता है, सोचो.
इसलिए मूवी बना लिया ना.
मूवी बना लिया, पागल एंड प्रेसबर्गर का सेट ले लिया उठा के और क्या.
$200 million खर्च कर दिया इस चूतिए ने.
But I
to
feel-
make a
no,
movie,
but I
to
think-
make a sequel. एक तो sequel was unnecessary. It's irrelevant whether I like the first Joker or not. The sequel was unnecessary.
But
this
that
sequel,
so many sequels are unnecessary, no?
I mean, sequel in its own conception is unnecessary. Sequel by its
No, but like
conception
you
is a
have
casual.
but there are good sequels also. Like I mean, well, Godfather 2, for example,
Of
being very
course.
yeah.
Of course, but Godfather 2 was also a cash grab. The studio wanted to make Godfather 2.
Yeah, but you can veer away from. I mean, this isn't a. Well, this firstly didn't grab cash, and it's not going to grab more cash also. So he's clearly not intended it as that. So, like, I can admire him on at least. Well, again, I keep on going back to Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, at least he's not doing that. Like, I'm just like, my
At
headspace
least
goes to
it's not
that.
nostalgia pod.
To me that is the level I am at, I guess, where I'm just like, i I don't know when I'll watch that movie. I'm just dreading what response I will have
But
to it.
मतलब nostalgia porn अलग level का mean spirit है. But this is like a separate level of mean spiritedness.
No, I
And I'm
agree.
not even and
Agree.
I'm not even and I'm not even talking about as a comic book fan. भाई comic book fan तो छोड़ ही दो.
Next Monday, Vakar, sorry, next Monday, because we had just planned this week कि जोकर के बारे में करेंगे बात, and I think there was enough to talk about Joker.
Yeah.
The
I'm
very
not.
sad truth is, I don't have much to say about Control.
Neither do I.
I think we can wrap it up in 30 minutes tops. Tops, that also. It's not verses, Arvind. No, it's not verses.
Sir
Uh,
versus ही है. Sir versus ही है.
well, let me just hope then that I have a more fruitful reaction to Jigra, because I felt a bit disheartened while watching Control. I don't like comparing Vikramaditya Motwane to a Black Mirror episode filmmakers. Okay, I expect
people
more
are
from him.
people
Sorry.
are praising that movie because this is the first time a
I
screen length
understand.
movie was done in
I
India,
understand.
which is also not true because
Yeah.
Mahesh Narayanan did with See You
Oh,
Soon.
in See You
But
Soon, yeah. I have
yes,
lots to say about Control. Yeah, I know, Chris, you didn't like it. You liked it even less than I did. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. I'll bring up some specific things. I have, like, there's a couple of, because there's a mild chance that he might. So I want to be very clear with what issues I have, because I have some issues with his filmmaking also in Control, which I generally don't have with him. I think Amartya and me discussed it a little bit.
yes,
Watch LSD 2 instead.
yes, please.
It's not an easy movie to recommend, to be very honest, but I admire the LSD ka swing much more than Control ka packaged
It got the
nihilism.
busyness. It got the busyness of what a digital social media navigation
Yeah, it's
actually
hard to
looks like.
watch. It's genuinely, it, like, makes you uncomfortable,
Uncomfortable.
makes you a little nauseous sometimes also, I would say.
Yes.
Control, I think, doesn't make you anything, which is my big problem with it. And I'm sorry, I know
Control is so ineffective in screen life that the final 20 minutes has to get out of that screen life to get into
which are one of
emotional
the better
poignancy.
better points, I think, of the film.
Yes.
But anyways, we'll discuss it next week in how
To be
much
very
ever
honest
detail
with
we
you,
can.
that's the most I have to say about Control, even though I've written
Yeah.
an
I have
entire
some
review.
specific technical
From-
technical things
Oh,
which
even
we can
that
point out.
even I have, but yeah.
But I think that only we'll talk about now. Or what? I don't think there is much else to talk about.
No.
To me, it's like a Black Mirror with a splash of Eternal Sunshine of
With a
the
splash
Spotless
of
Mind.
Call Me Babe because Ananya Pandey. But
Well, yeah. But I actually liked her in this film. But
she's very good. She's
yeah,
actually very
I know
good.
Chris
But then
disagrees
again,
there. I think Chris
अगर
didn't like.
50 बार चांस मिलता है किसी को, कभी ना कभी तो वो अच्छा होंगे ही ना. You
नहीं,
are
we can
not
pray.
that
I think
you are not that talentless like Arjun Kapoor is. You are not as
yeah.
talentless as Arjun Kapoor ना. 50 बार चांस मिला बंदे को.
No, while watching Control, I was actually thinking about how that film really, in the third part, goes there. You know, and I was just like, I admire that guy
See,
in
that's
terms
another
of
movie. See,
yeah,
that's another movie which took a swing. Did not like the
yeah.
swing, but took a swing.
No, I didn't love the swing, but
It's also way better swing than Joker 2.
yes, no, I think in that, like, I think the second story, I love the second story in
The
LSD2.
second story is
Uh,
harrowing. The second story is
yeah,
easily the best story.
yeah.
Easily.
But I think people really like but now I admire the first and third ka aggressive formal thing also quite a bit.
First
So
also I like
anyway,
because I know exactly what he's recommending. I know exactly what he's lampooning. I know exactly what he's
I thought it got so it aped it so much. I was just like, I'm gonna get a heart attack while watching this. It's so
No, no,
cringy and so like,
I understood
yeah,
entirely what it is lampooning.
yeah.
Arvind,
Oh yeah,
We wanted to not talk about Rohit Shetty का short film.
short film.
वो
I
trailer
thought you
नहीं
said
है,
right.
वो trailer नहीं है, वो short film है, वो
Why?
movie है.
Speaking about Arjun Kapoor, what he's in it?
Arjun Kapoor is the villain. Okay, let me tell you about Singham again.
Okay, so see, this is the advantage. I don't watch trailers in general. For the first time, I watched the Mickey 17 trailer, which looked pretty good. But
The advantage is now
anyways,
he's going to listen to my recreation of bad movies, which I'm very good at.
yeah. Okay, let's do it. We have 7 minutes, and then we will end this live stream. But yeah, please explain Singham again.
ट्रेलर भी 5 मिनट का ही है.
Of course, we're gonna watch it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm sorry, I could finish it. Yeah,
Singham
because it's
again
5 minutes. Who makes a
Singham
5-minute
again-
trailer?
सिंघम अगेन का ट्रेलर इज बेसिकली रोहित शेट्टी रियलाइजिंग कि अभी nationalism sells, religion sells, so we are going to make a Singham sequel which is basically an interpretation of Ramayana. Confused? Let me tell you. Singham
Yes, they're
is
gonna make all the cops brothers.
no. Singham is basically Ram in that Avni, his wife, that is Kareena Kapoor, gets kidnapped by
Okay.
a man in Sri Lanka. He's a gangster. ठीक है?
Okay.
He's the one who kidnaps Singham's wife. He is played by Arjun Kapoor.
Okay.
Arjun Kapoor is the villain. And now Singham will have to attack in Sri Lanka. Okay? And he will have to recruit people. So now the recruitment occurs in a way that reminds you of the Ramayana, in which Tiger Shroff is basically Lakshman. Listen
Tiger
to
Shroff
this.
कहाँ से आ गया?
भाई सुनो, कास्ट सुनो. Tiger Shroff is Lakshman. ठीक है?
Yeah.
मतलब that's what they are telling you, and they are highlighting you in big bold. हाँ, मतलब they are showing you Tiger Shroff meeting Ajay Devgan, and then they are showing a Ramayana ka image of Ram and Lakshman. So they are literally doing that. Okay.
Don't tell me.
Yes,
That's in the
they are-
trailer.
Yes.
No
that's
ways.
Yes. So that is one. Tiger Shroff is Lakshman. Okay. Ranveer Singh Simba is Hanuman. Okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what Deepika Padukone's Lady Singham is because they did not show the corresponding thing, because I don't think even Rohit Shetty has thought that much. But Deepika Padukone is there as Lady Singham. ठीक है?
Usko, oh, you know, I was about to make a very awful Sita joke here because it links to
No.
Padmavat. But
No.
Okay, fine.
That would have been worse. No.
Can we do experimentation here? I guess.
So he is a show. Deepika Padukone is हमारा Lady Singham. मतलब her name is some Shetty, but she is basically Lady Singham. She says that also कि मैं सिंघम नहीं रे, लेडी सिंघम है रे. I'm like, whatever the fuck, okay man. And फिर this is hilarious. Akshay Kumar is Jatayu. Akshay Kumar is Jatayu because he comes on a helicopter.
I mean, you're selling anyone on this film, right? You know that. So, everyone on this film, actually. Chulbul. Oh, yeah, that's what you said, right?
Bulbul Pandey cameo has been confirmed, which begs the question.
What is he?
What is
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. There's no brain left after this. We are all lobotomized.
This is basically the cop universe ka Avengers. Yes, this is basically cop
Yeah, but that
universe
I thought
ka
was what he was building towards. I didn't know all this Tiger. Where I was like, Tiger Shroff kahan se aa gaya? I thought it was those three.
Tiger Shroff hai.
I thought it was those three though. Like I didn't know that you were gonna get Dabang and everything nonsense.
Each and every one of the character who is coming to meet him in the trailer, all of them are like touching his feet because he's Ram, na. So all the characters are not touching.
You're making all this up. You are
it's
making
in the trailer. It is in the trailer. I'm not.
I
kidding.
don't believe you. I'll have to watch it to believe it. This is a joke, isn't it?
It's
Please
a
tell me it's a
5-minute ka trailer. That is already a joke. Why?
joke. Okay, we have to review it. So
It's a short film. It's a short film. It's a short film. It's a movie only. सारा movie दिखा दिया.
so
सारा
are they just
set
going to
piece दिखा
spend
दिया.
whatever 200, 300 odd crores on this and then just expect to make a franchise out of it?
सबसे बड़ा
And it's releasing with Bhool Bhulaiya 3, which looked awful, but like
सबसे
everyone
मस्त
would
बोला
watch
तो
it.
सबसे मस्त बोला तो एक यूट्यूबर जिसका
Yeah.
नाम मोहित है, मोहित वर्ड्स.
Hmm.
he's like एक सेकंड, अगर चुलबुल पांडे का कैमियो हुआ तो वो सिंघम के वाइफ को देख के क्या रिएक्शन होगा? he तो ऑलरेडी सॉन्ग फेविकॉल से अटका हुआ है. I'm like Jesus Christ.
This is Rohit Shetty's fuck you audience. I think he's been doing that for a while, to be very honest.
The problem is Rohit Shetty's audience actually is not fuck you audience. Sir, Ajay Devgan cameo nahi. Ajay Devgan is Ram. Everybody else is like the supporting cast of Ramayan.
I mean, he'll
This
definitely be more excited in this than he was in Shaitan, right? Okay, so we can't get worse. Dilwale is it's not fuck you audience, it's fuck you whoever likes Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, because now you have to every time mention, oh no, not that Dilwale. So, you know, at least it's
so Singham again. Everybody excited? I sure hope not.
Is
Because
this
if
what,
you
for
are-
1st November you said?
No, Diwali. It's basically
Diwali pe hai. This and Bhool Bhulaiya 3. What luck.
What a massive combo.
I mean, इसको बोलते हैं कि you know, देने वाला जब भी देता चप्पड़ फाड़ दिया basically इस दिवाली.
मैं ट्रेलर देख रहा था and I was like, what is this?
I mean, I just saw the Bhool Bhulaiya
Baby John
3 trailer today.
Christmas, I think. Arvind, Baby John is in Christmas.
What is
I don't
Baby
think it's
John?
on the-
Sorry, I'm
Baby-
again don't follow trailers at all.
Baby
So.
John is Varun Dhawan's commercial mass movie, which is basically.
Please
which
don't
is
tell me it's
basically a
directed by
remake-
David Dhawan.
No, it's a remake of Atlee's Theory. So.
I think it might. I'm
it
hoping
won't.
this is good. I'm honestly, Sai, I'm hoping that Singham again is a total disastrous clusterfuck. At least it'll be fun. You know, I'm thinking on that level.
I think it's going to be circus. I think it's going to
No,
be
I don't
like
want that. I want like fun garbage. I don't want this. Like,
It is
you know,
going
I
to
don't
be
want-
agenda-driven garbage. No, there is no reason for this movie.
वो नहीं
To,
देखना यार.
no, there is no reason for this movie to be an interpretation of Ramayana unless you are going to go with the current climate.
Yeah. I want stupid garbage. Give me stupid garbage, please.
अरे
Don't
stupid
give me
garbage तो
this.
है ही. Stupid
I mean,
garbage
no,
तो है ही.
not in the. It's like whatever.
I think Rohit Shetty took the Ranveer Singh is a coked up monkey thing a bit too literal.
bit
He
too
literally
literal.
cast him as Hanuman.
कोक टब मत बोल देना सर. उसके साथ साथ if he's making those allusions, आपका ठिकाना नहीं रहेगा ठीक कहीं पे भी. Anyways, it's a good. I will. Amidst all the noir stuff we'll talk next month, we'll definitely be talking Singham again. So, thank you for that.
We are bringing Sanjeev for
everyone.
this. We are going to
I think
kidnap
he's.
Sanjeev
I
from
think.
his. We are going to kidnap Sanjeev from his job. We are going to tell him, "तू movie बनाना बंद कर, तू इसके बारे में बहुत."
I think he's done. I think he'll be done with shooting by then. So, 100%.
Sanjeev has to come.
Yeah. Yeah, please. I've been seeing too many Alan from Control. I actually found him quite.
No, the Bittu Sharma comparison is
cringy
because Vikramaditya Motwana himself said that he is becoming like Bittu Sharma to the extent that he wanted to name him Bittu, and then he was worried कि यशराज से copyright strike ना आ जाए, इसलिए he did not.
Jesus Christ! Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. It works. The whole Alan Nella thing also is nice. It's a nice touch, you know. Like the film has a lot of nice human touches. It does have.
Touches ही है.
जो भी है is what I have to like. I've you know, if you're gonna
Folie के साथ Folie जैसा तो नहीं है.
नहीं, it's not. Yeah, watch trial
Folie
and
में
review
कोई touch
production.
नहीं है. मैं उसका चैनल नहीं देखता सर.
Okay. That
उसका
was
channel नहीं देखता.
unexpected, but okay. I don't know, but
मैं बहुत YouTube चैनल्स नहीं देखता हूँ क्योंकि हर चैनल मुझे इरिटेट कर देता है. अगर ज्यादा ये सब YouTube चैनल देखना स्टार्ट कर दिया मेरा हाई प्रेशर हो जाएगा. सबके
मत
सब
करो सर,
चूतिए,
आपका काफी हाई प्रेशर वैसे ही रहता है, सो इट्स ओके.
सबके सब चूतिए है, सबके सब, कोई किसी का
Brilliant.
सेंसिबल कोई रिएक्शन नहीं होता.
Beautiful. Thumbnail is funny, he said. Thumbnail is funny.
हाँ ठीक है,
Okay,
थंबनेल देख के निकल
look
जाएगा.
at. Okay, perfect. अनन्या पांडे के लिए बिला नेला के अलावा कोई नाम नहीं मिला क्या? Come on,
See,
you could have.
every
हाँ.
character Ananya Pandey is playing is basically 2 degrees removed from herself. So it's fine. Name का भी कोई variation ज़्यादा नहीं है, ठीक ही तो.
She was good in this. Well, we'll elaborate on this next week. We're not going to spoil much. Spoil. Whatever. It's spoiled by people have watched it, whoever's watched it here. So, anyways, thank you so much for listening to our long form episode, I suppose, of Joker Folie. I hope we communicate.
along with the funny recreation of Singham again.
Singham
Funny-
again, yes, which has convinced me to go watch the trailer ASAP. But just to believe in what we are coming to. But anyways, thank you so much for listening. I hope you got something out of this episode, more probably than we got out of the film in terms of our entertainment value, at least.
Yes.
We apologize to whoever likes the film and thinks we offended them. We didn't mean to
Or things
offend
we don't
them at all.
understand, or things we don't understand movies. To all the people who say that we don't understand movies, first of all, fuck you. We understand more than you do.
Okay.
We understand more than you do. Number two, I'm kidding. You can understand movies way better than us. This movie was just not for us. And also, this movie is very bad.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Khatam. Thank you, Chris. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah.